Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Nick Mason.
It's great to be here.
Nice.
Seems the tables have turned this week.
They certainly have, Mason. Well, I had a coffee, so I can't crack open a coffee, can I? What does that even sound
You
like?
can get a can of coffee.
Get a can of coffee? Did you bring me one?
No, I said
Useless information.
I said you can.
Not helpful. Bad start.
Well, you seem like a man who's had way too much coffee or not enough coffee.
Well, Mason,
I'm so deep in the caffeine well that sometimes I'll just see you see just a van will go past and it's like a coffee roastery or something like that, and I go, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even...
What if that van crashed?
It's
not
on
eat all
me. What if I was involved in a deadly crash with this coffee van and that's how I died?
Pretty good.
Like, it's not like even an ice cream van where it's like ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like,
No.
It doesn't even produce the smell. I'm just like, the very concept of that. Oh, yeah.
Simply the idea of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fun, Mason.
It is fun. We have
What's not fun, though, is a couple of deaths we're going to be discussing this week.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Oh, yeah. This is Weekly Planet Early Edition, by the way. We're
Oh,
recording
yeah.
this Friday day,
That's
our
right.
time.
Yep.
Potentially more sad things will happen over the
Oh,
weekend.
yeah, most certainly.
We're not going to be. We're going to be there to witness them, but we won't be able to talk about them.
I mean, will they be entertainment related? We don't know, but sad things will happen.
That's so true.
Don't worry about that if you were worried about it.
But also, some good things will happen.
Yeah, but don't worry about that either.
Yeah, don't worry about that either. Yeah, just thread the needle.
Oh, we're going to talk about where we fall on this, though. Kathleen Kennedy is apparently leaving Lucasfilm.
We did it, folks. We
Finally.
did it.
A bloody 12 years too late. I don't care. We'll talk about it. Trailers for both Andor Season 2 and Shrek 5. Warner Brothers announced the closing of 3 more
That's
gaming
the duality
studios.
of man. Andor and Shrek 5.
Oh, my God. You're not wrong. James Gunn and Peter Saffran gave an update on all of their DCU slate for the upcoming DC movies and TV shows. Some is out, some is in. We'll talk about it. We're going to talk a bit about a Punisher special that's in the works.
Oh, yes.
And then, of course, the hunt for Gollum has been delayed. And then we've got a couple of special guests coming in
That's right.
to talk about epic fantasy movies that are good and bad.
They're scratching at the doors.
That's right, yeah.
Being all gross out there.
They're being all gross.
They're being all gross out there.
They're touching on my things, Mason.
Right?
Yeah.
They're doing that thing where you put your mouth on the window and you go, you're going to pop your face.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's not cool
It's
what
gross.
they're doing.
So they're grubby boys.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got Joel Zammit and Jackson from Sans Pants. They're coming in. And maybe they've got a board game they want to talk about. I don't know. We'll figure it out when they get in.
Cluedo?
Cluedo.
That's already out.
What?
Yeah.
Time codes below if you do want to skip to anything. We'll start with this. Gene Hackman was found dead alongside his wife, Betsy Arakawa, and their dog, also at their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The sheriff's office told Sky News, "We do not believe any foul play was a factor in their deaths. However, exact cause of death has not been determined at this time." People are saying carbon monoxide poisoning.
Potentially,
We don't... I don't know. That's speculation. At the time of recording this,
we don't know.
idea.
We don't have any further details.
Yeah.
But that's very sad. Betsy Arakawa was a classical concert pianist. I don't know much about her, but I mean Gene Hackman certainly.
Oh my God! Well, he was Lex Luthor 3 times.
Perfectly nasty in that role.
Oh my God!
They're not my favorite movies in the world, but I think casting wise they did.
For movies you hate, you liked him.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But just incredible in that role. The Royal Tenenbaums.
Get Shorty.
Sure.
Mississippi Burning.
Yeah.
The French Connections. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, that's right. Enemy of the State. Remember
yeah,
that?
Enemy of the State's fun.
That may have been one of my earliest memories of Gene Hackman.
Yeah,
post Superman.
Post Superman.
Yeah.
What else I got here? Bonnie and Clyde. He was in as well. He also 2 westerns which I love. One being Unforgiven,
and the Quick and
obvious
the Dead?
classic. Yeah, Quick and the Dead. Also, if you want a Sam Raimi western, it's got a very young Leonardo DiCaprio and a Sharon Stone and a Gene Hackman. Really fun, good movie.
Yeah.
If you want to, and Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's in that as well. What a career! I mean, he was 95. He was a former Marine. I remember a few years ago, I'm like, oh shit, Gene Hackman's still alive. Like I saw a picture of him, I'm like, okay, great, good.
Well, retired for quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely. But he seemed in good health.
He's in a movie called The Conversation. It's a Francis Ford Coppola movie.
He loves one.
And he's sort of a surveillance expert. And he was so good in that the editor of the movie, Walter Murch, had like a revelation about editing and its relationship to acting that he wrote a book about it.
Oh my
based
God.
on he was like, Hackman is so good in this. I've got to it's called In the Blink of an Eye.
It's called Everything I Did Before This Was Crap.
That's right.
Thanks, Gene Hackman.
Yeah, thanks for ruining my life, Gene.
So yeah, I mean, 95. That's a great life and a great career for both of them. It seems. I don't know about the dog. Probably a good dog.
Probably a
by
good
all
dog.
accounts.
They had 3 dogs.
Oh, okay.
And 2 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know what's going. Again, we have no idea. But I mean, when you hear about this sort of thing, oftentimes it is it's like you said, it's some sort of carbon monoxide poisoning, a gas leak.
Yeah.
But
again,
we can only hope they went in peace.
Yeah.
In their sleep. That would be good.
Absolutely. And then we've got Michelle Trachtenberg, and they released a statement saying, her family. It was with great sadness to confirm that Michelle has passed away. They confirmed this to the Hollywood Reporter. The family requests privacy for their loss. There are no further details at this time. You probably would be most familiar with her, Mason, from Buffy.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, 39 years old. She was the titular Harriet the Spy in the movie Harriet the Spy.
Yeah.
She was on Gossip Girl.
She was in Euro Trip.
She was in Euro Trip. That's right. One of the great raunchy comedies of the early 2000s when that was a real great in that. But yeah, she was Dawn Summers in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So she was sort of a late addition to the cast.
Yeah.
Sort of end of season 4, end of season 5. There are some evil magical machinations. So that Buffy, who to that point is an only child, suddenly has a sister, and she's sort of been inserted into that world as if seamlessly, so nobody notices anything is amiss.
Yeah,
and so she was a really interesting character, and like that's sort of a thankless task to come in late.
Oh yeah,
in a show's run and kind of have to integrate seamlessly.
Yeah,
like literally seamlessly into the show. She's not a new character,
that was part of the narrative as well, the way that they.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, but again, we don't really know any details.
She recently had a liver transplant.
Yeah,
and it's not apparently it's not. There's no criminality suspected, so it sounds like an illness. But again, speculation. We don't know, and the family have obviously said there are no further details.
But I think a lot of. She was definitely a part of a lot of people's childhoods and like sort of, a bunch of iconic roles. Seemed like a nice lady.
Yeah.
That's bad. And 39, that's so young.
That sucks. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Mason, let's move on to happier news for a bunch of people, I think.
Okay.
Oh my God, the internet. Oh, you know what? So Kathleen Kennedy might be stepping down, but I feel like there was a window where people would have exploded in happiness. Now it's just like, okay.
Some people might not know who Kathleen Kennedy is.
Oh yeah, let's back it up a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to do it?
If you could, I don't really
I haven't
know.
even had a second coffee, Mason.
I'll be real with you. We've been doing this podcast for years. We've been talking about Kathleen Kennedy for years. I don't really know. She's a movie producer.
Okay, so basically when George Lucas stepped away from Star Wars and sold it to Disney, he picked her personally to produce the Star Wars films.
He anointed her with a lightsaber.
Yes, he did.
Vroom.
Now, that's not necessarily...
Vroom. That's both shoulders. Vroom.
Right through the arms?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's a toy one.
Oh, it's a toy one. That's fine.
Lightsabers aren't real, James.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because Kathleen Kennedy sucked all the magic out of Star Wars.
They were real, and she took away hoverboards.
That's right.
So basically, she was in charge of all things Star Wars. It didn't mean that she did all the creative nitty-gritty, as some people might have thought.
Yep.
But that's not to say that she did decide what kind of went ahead and what didn't.
Right.
Prior to her work on Star Wars... Oh, by the way, she made billions of dollars with Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars under her is absolutely a mixed bag. Star Wars before her was a mixed bag. Star Wars after will continue to be a mixed bag.
I would have said before her tenure, Star Wars was about 50-50, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know where it is now. I'm not really keeping track of where it's at. There's just a lot of it. I know that for sure.
But she produced a lot of...
Yes, so she came up under Spielberg.
Yeah.
So she produced or executive produced E.T., Whomst Among Us has framed Roger Rabbit, Color Purple, the Back to the Future trilogy, Hook, the Jurassic Park movies, Congo, The Sixth Sense.
Laser apes.
Yeah, that's right, laser apes.
She was like, why don't we give these apes lasers?
Yeah.
Or attack them with lasers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm taking away all the lightsabers.
Yeah, that's right. And the fun.
And The Sixth Sense, among others. Like, incredible producer. Yeah, I think there's definitely an argument to be made that, things could have definitely been run better under Star Wars. I think especially in the gaming division, I think that was like grossly neglected. I don't know whether that falls to her specifically. Maybe that's a Bob Iger thing because I don't know the specifics of that.
But But you've always maintained they should have done more Indiana Jones games.
Absolutely.
And stuff to keep the idea alive in
Put
people's
them
minds.
on streaming like prior to like 2 weeks before the new film, new animated show.
Re-release the VHS tapes at McDonald's where you could buy a meal and then you get
an
the
Indiana
video
Jones.
for $10.
You get an Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's how I got them.
That's how you
Quarter
got 'em.
pounder meal and a Last Crusade, please.
Yeah.
On VHS.
That's very good. I also think that it was absolutely time for her to go. Like, I think she's 71. Apparently she wants to move on and produce things like with her own production company.
Okay.
It would seem that would be smaller projects, I'd imagine. She's been doing this since 2012. Yeah, that's a good time to leave. It seems as if, though, she might have stayed an extra year because they couldn't figure out who to replace her with.
Oh, yeah, who's in the running now? Feige would be in the running?
Here's the thing, Mason. THR put out an article, and I'm happy to get into this with you if you don't mind. Just really get into it.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of a thing we don't really understand.
I agree.
Why break tradition now?
Nah, now's
We've
not
been
a
doing
good
this
time to do that.
for a decade. Let's keep going. That's stuff we don't really know about. Let's solve this for everyone.
Agree. THR says that Disney Star Wars, the article's called by THR, Disney Star Wars succession problem, who will replace Kathleen Kennedy? So basically a lot of this has come from insider information from Disney, but it is through THR, so it's a fairly reputable outlet. One of the choices is Jon Favreau, and for each one they list like a bunch of reasons why, but I'll in summary.
And why not?
Oh,
really?
Yeah, definitely. So Jon Favreau, of course, he directed Iron Man, which launched the MCU. He also started with Dave Filoni, The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Which, you might look back at that now and be like, that Mandalorian season 3 sucks. Boy, is that Book of Boba Fett not great.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. But The Mandalorian, when it started, it was a revelation for Star Wars on television.
Absolutely.
Implementation of the volume.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau's done like a lot of incredible things. I don't like his Lion King like remake.
And you don't like him personally.
He seems very nice, actually. He made the movie Made, which I like. Did he make Made?
He was in it.
Yeah, he was in it.
Yeah.
But he did that other one that he
Swingers.
made. He did Swingers, which I also like.
so true.
He did Zathura.
Yeah.
He did Cowboys and Aliens. He's done a bunch of stuff.
And in the cons column, it says here, Black Widow did a big flip on him that time in that boxing ring, and it makes him look weak.
Yeah, that's right.
And in the investors' meetings, they're just going to constantly show that clip.
And
why is this man taking the direction of Star Wars? Look at this! And then it's just him getting choked out by Scarlett Johansson.
And drinking that mustard coffee from Daredevil when he played Foggy Nelson.
That's right.
I think he is a good choice. I think.
What are we getting paid in fish? This is this is how they're promoting him. What are we getting paid in fish? We shouldn't be getting paid in fish. This is a man who knows what he wants, money, not fish. We won't let anybody pay the Star Wars franchise in fish.
Not with fish. But then they show the big flip and they're like, well, we don't know where we sit on any of this. I think he's a solid choice. I think though, and we'll talk about someone next who I think falls more into this category. He is more of a creative, and I think maybe that's where he'd like to sit more. Because this role, it's not a creative role. It's an executive role. It's crunching numbers. It's figuring out budgets.
It's signing off on, hey, we're thinking about doing a big multi-series arc or whatever. And he just goes, okay, yeah, great, good.
Yeah.
We're thinking of doing a crossover between this and this. And he has to go, all right, yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
Can I do any of the details? No. The computer's done those.
The computer's done it all. Next up, we got Dave Filoni, who people know he was
Cowboy Hat.
He came up under George Lucas, who he's always been like, the word is that he's George Lucas's protege. They worked together on the Clone Wars animated series. I think he's done a lot of really incredible animal stuff, but also, what I was going to say about the Lion King.
I think he should be in jail.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. No, good animal stuff maybe. I don't know. Yeah, like petting them, but nicely, the right way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Paying their way through college and so forth.
Things like that.
Dog college.
Animal school. I was going to say about the Lion King. I don't like that, but it is a pioneer. Like it's pioneering technology.
And it made a lot of money.
So whatever. So yeah, I like Dave Filoni's animated stuff. He also, as mentioned, he did The Mandalorian with Jon Favreau.
Oh, yeah.
He's also done...
Friends turned rivals now, it seems.
He's also...
Do you think behind the scenes
I don't think so.
They're showing each other... They're showing the investors clips of themselves getting choked out.
He also did Ahsoka. I think he probably works better as a creative. And also, I don't love his Star Wars often, especially the later stuff. I think it's pretty middle of the road.
But nobody sees that. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, quality-wise, it doesn't really matter what it is as long as it's getting people to subscribe or going to see the
Which
Lion
it might
King.
not even be at the
Well,
moment.
we don't know,
I
yeah.
don't think it like bucks any trends or like does anything particularly inventive. I think he has told some really incredible stories, especially like in the animated stuff. But there is this tie to like, you know, Ahsoka was Rebel season 4 or whatever they got up to on that 5. And, you know, I think that he's built this whole world out around those characters, which is like great, good for him. But like, I don't care about that at this point. Like, I want other stuff. And that's not to say under him he couldn't do that. Another source.
If I may, I think if he wants to you know, raise his prospects, I think he should, and you know, prove he's the protege of George Lucas. I think he should grow a big grey beard.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he should recreate the iconic George Lucas in the food court in Adelaide drinking a Diet Coke.
That would be
photo.
Perfect.
Right? And then people are like, oh, he's got it.
He's the king.
He's the king. That's exactly right.
He's the king of Star Wars
That's
and food
right.
courts in Adelaide. An insider source says he's a great resource of knowledge, but he's ultimately a TV guy. He will be killed by all sides. Okay.
Literally.
Maybe. Yeah, he is a great resource of knowledge. He's basically like a walking Wikipedia. And again, he worked under George Lucas. If you want something specific to like George Lucas's vision, it's probably as close as you'll get.
Yeah, right.
Probably, I guess. Which I don't necessarily think is a good thing. I think it's okay to branch outside of that and try good things, unless they're bad, in which case don't do that. Just stay in your lane.
I mean, you know, in a lot of ways, George Lucas's vision was just doing a bunch of stuff, and it just happened to work out. You know
I think there's a little bit more to it than that, but
man.
I mean, bringing all that
James,
together.
You know how we talk about like perhaps a Donald Trump? I don't know. Maybe we talk about that guy, and like how he got to be successful is he started out with a lot of money, and then he just tried a bunch of things that failed and failed and failed, and then eventually he's the president twice somehow.
Yeah.
Like he would have had a bunch
That's the billionaire's playbook.
Well, that's exactly. But he would have had a bunch of contemporaries, and Musk is the same thing, where there would be a bunch of guys who started off the same way as him.
Absolutely.
And they all just failed.
Yeah.
And now they just work regular jobs or whatever. Failure.
Yeah.
Like Lucas would have had a bunch of contemporaries as well.
He did, yeah.
They've just fallen by the wayside.
I completely agree.
You know,
I mean, it's the cowboy theory. What's that theory of like the cowboy that lives the longest that doesn't get shot is just because like, well, one of them doesn't get shot, and it was this guy. He's got lucky. Yeah,
no one shot him in that food court.
Dave Filoni, cowboy hat.
Right.
I like his strategy.
Yeah.
Another source says what people don't understand is.
Sorry to bring up Donald Trump and Elon Musk in a
Oh, you mean those people are constantly forcing themselves into our lives?
Yeah, sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
Been on my mind for some reason.
Yeah. What people don't understand, this is another source, is that it's not a creative job. That's about 10%. The rest is dealing with Disney licensing and fans. Apparently, he's Disney's top choice. I would say, they're not going to hear this, do not pick him. But they also said maybe they do Favreau and Filoni. I think that would be a better choice.
Okay, yeah.
But I still don't think that's a great choice. I think you need someone like a Bob Iger who wouldn't do it because he's the head, who's like very good at the management side of things and good at picking creatives.
Yeah, right.
You don't need to put yourself at the forefront of anything. You put people in place who can do the creative stuff.
Yeah, I guess also they want someone who can be forward facing like to audiences and show up at a Disney con or a Comic Con and just be like, hey everybody, we've got some great ideas for you. Or do they want to be like a faceless guy who never goes out in public? A ghost, for example.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think they could pick a ghost?
They could pick a ghost.
A blue ghost, a blue Star Wars ghost, or just a regular ghost?
Well, James, the blue Star Wars ghosts are fictional, so it'd have to be a regular ghost. Maybe on a Ouija board?
Okay, yeah. You'd have to pay them. Maybe in ghost dollars, whatever that is.
Yeah,
is that
maybe.
Fictional also?
I think
Am I stupid?
There's probably a Ouija board in Disney World somewhere.
I don't know.
Like
Are they allowed that in the haunted mansion?
Maybe in like one of those secret places where you can buy booze. There's probably also a Ouija board. Anyway, what I'm saying is you summon up a spirit.
By the way, if you see me at Disneyland, I'm selling booze. I'm one of the places. It's not official, but I'll sell you some booze.
Okay, right. Nice. Yeah. Nice.
What was I going to say? Next up, Kevin Feige. An insider said he's the only one that makes sense, but he needs to focus on Marvel. He would be, that seems like the smart play because his world is Star Wars. Like he grew up, that was the thing that he grew up on.
Oh, right, okay.
He was also going to produce a Star Wars movie at one point. I think he will leave Marvel in the next 5 years. I don't know whether this would be the thing to get him to jump over.
And some people are saying washed. He's washed.
I don't think he is. I think
I'm saying some people are saying that.
Oh,
that
then
he's washed.
Yeah, I think he was not every decision is perfect, but if you look what he's done prior to this,
Billions of dollars.
and also that there was this mandate from Disney at that time to push everything to streaming and whatever. I feel like they should have taken 5 years to do nothing and then start it up. But I don't know. We'll see. I think of all of them, he's probably one of the stronger choice. Next up, we've got J.J. Abrams. He's, of course, he produces under Bad Robot. He directed The Force Awakens.
I'll correct you there. He produces nothing under Bad Robot.
That's
He's produced nothing under Bad
He
Robot.
made that big deal and then did nothing.
He's made 2 big deals, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Netflix and something
else, yeah. He also, of course, directed The Rise of Skywalker. One insider says, I don't see him coming back to that toxic cesspool. It's definitely left a mark on him. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got a couple you might not know. One's Emma Watts, who's the longtime president of production of 20th
She's in Harry
Century
Potter.
Fox. No, that's Emma Watson Mason.
Oh.
President of 20th Century Fox. Was the president, sorry, who among other projects steered the X-Men and Deadpool films, which, yes, do vary in quality, but she has done larger franchise stuff. I don't know how much of the creative was her. I would say not very much. And she also did the same for James Cameron's Avatar. The first one when she was there. So, yeah.
Big money.
Again,
and she's got that diploma in potions.
Oh, that's good too. Mason, you think.
Go on.
No.
Okay.
And the last one we've got is Hammer Minghella, who is J.J. Abrams' former employee with Bad Robot. She also
That's vague.
Yeah. Well, she also, we use some other stuff. She also worked at Sony Pictures, where she worked on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and Hotel Transylvania, Jumanji and Goosebumps, all of which were like, they're pretty successful
That's
franchises,
a bigger meatball.
all in all. Yeah. She also been running Netflix's animation, feature, and live action family division since last summer. And she would have to get herself out of that deal to do this. By the sounds of things, not a terrible choice either. I don't know. This is an impossible job and nobody's going to be happy.
Yep.
I think the happiest people would be was maybe Kevin Feige, but even then people won't like that either. I would say maybe they'd just go with like a faceless executive.
Yeah, some hard-hearted guy who doesn't care. And also a lot of it's like you said, some of these people are going to face so much backlash for no reason and just.
But also, it's like a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
I mean, I'd do it for a lot of money. I don't care. I'd let
money.
people yell at me for 13 years. I don't care.
I guess that's true. In a lot of ways, if you're really rich, you don't have to look at Twitter.
Don't care at all.
Don't care at all. That's
do you want to go on stage at Star Wars Celebration? Nah.
That's right.
Only if I can throw bricks into the audience.
Yeah.
Which I can.
Yeah.
Because I'm rich.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Let the dog in.
Hello, Ollie. Ollie knows I have half a sandwich.
It's true. Do you have a preference for any of this? Or Kathleen Kennedy, another 13 years.
Yeah, let's bring Kathleen Kennedy back in. Yeah. Let's insist she comes back. Let's find us a loophole in her contract where she has to come back.
Do you think she was forced out? Because I don't.
No, I don't think so. No, absolutely.
Do you think the fans demanded it and they're finally listening?
I think so.
They cried enough.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Kathleen, you've done exemplary work here. You've brought us in billions of dollars for the company and the shareholders. But I have a series of tweets here from the Fandom Menace, and they think you're doing a bad job. So you must go.
Absolutely.
To jail.
Oh, no.
They're sending you to jail.
No, that's fair enough. Not Star Wars jail. With
No,
like
regular
a laser force. For
Star Wars jail isn't real.
Okay. Well, at least I can talk to a force ghost in there, right?
We'll set something up. We've got some horrible CGI deepfake recreations of dead actors, and we'll make them ghosts for you.
Very good. Let's get into this, Mason.
Go on.
Trailers ahoy.
Honk?
Yeah. Oh, this boat's back. Why do we pay the boat? Can't we just watch the trailers on our phones? Like, why do we do this every week?
That's a great point. They are available for free on our phones.
And that honk wasn't even like the proper honk.
It was just a man saying honk.
That's what I mean.
I think he was like an intern or something. He's new, that guy.
I hate this boat.
I think that guy's a Christmas casual or
We're
something.
not paying that guy, are we? I hope that's a free intern.
I don't know, man. I don't
Who's paying the boat?
I mean, I
gotta look at my tax returns.
I guess you pay the boat in like petrol and
whatever a boat does.
Whatever a boat and oil.
Those tires on the side.
Yeah, you pay him in tires on the side.
From bumping into stuff.
Yeah, hey buddy, we got you some fresh tires on the side. You know,
stupid boat.
It's stupid.
Anyway, this boat has brought us Andor season 2, the trailer.
Pretty punk rock.
It's got a fun punk rock song, Mason.
It sure does.
Really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Not much to say other than, boy, isn't that awesome Krennic.
That's right.
Boy, isn't that the Death Star. Boy, isn't that K2SO voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that some cool guys walking away from an explosion without looking?
It is.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, excited?
Yes.
April 22nd.
Is it? They're not dropping all episodes. Is
They're
it one
doing
a week?
3 a week.
3? Oh, that's right. 3 a week.
There's 12 in total. They're doing.
Okay.
I love that.
Could they maybe say we're doing one movie a week?
Seems
that's
that
how,
way.
maybe that's how they could
I think
do
if
it.
they said one movie a week, I'd be like, ugh, no.
Yeah, right.
I'm not watching one movie a week.
Okay, yeah.
But it's like that streaming model of like, I watch 6 episodes of The Rookie in a row,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
won't watch a Rookie movie, Mason.
That's so true. You wouldn't, would you?
You would.
I wouldn't. I've never.
And we also got a teaser trailer for Shrek 5.
That's right.
Which tells us that the original cast is coming back. You got your Mike Myers, you got your Cameron Diaz's, you've got your Edward Murphys.
Is Eddie Murphy confirmed in it?
He is,
It was?
yeah.
Okay.
And then we've got a new name. It's Zendaya as Shrek's little girl, who's a grown woman, teenager now,
Yep.
ogre. He had 2 other kids.
Where are they, you're saying?
He ate them.
He ate the kids. He ate the weakest and slowest kids.
Or not.
Yeah, maybe. Sure.
Just the most
They're off
delicious.
at college
They're
or
probably
something.
doing ogre college.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're probably going to
Yeah.
University of Fairy fucking whatever land.
They're going to
and
Ogre Dame.
gingerbread.
I'm calling
Yeah,
it now. They're
Ogre-
going to Ogre Dame Ogreversity.
Damn, this guy's good.
I'm good.
Well,
That's free, Mike Myers, by the way. You can have that.
Yeah?
Ogre Dame Ogreversity.
Well, they've got time to put it in because it's Christmas 2026.
Yeah, that's ages away.
Animation style's a bit different. Do you notice
it?
that? Like the designs have tweaked them a bit.
Now, in this, of course, in this short teaser, we see some Shrek is introduced to some Shrek memes that are somewhere on the Ogre net or whatever
Yeah.
they're on. Do you think those are real memes, or do you think they've been made for
They
Disney?
might be. I mean, Shrek meme city, mate.
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
on the internet,
Yeah.
people are loving
Not
that.
safe for work.
Yeah, this is going to make $1 billion.
Yes, easily.
Straight up. Unless it's bad, in which case it'll make $2 billion. I mean, people love Shrek.
You know what they should do at the end?
What?
Austin Powers cameo.
Oh my God. Didn't they do that in the Pentaverance or something?
Maybe.
Well, they put Shrek in it.
Did they? Oh, they did. Yeah, there was a guy in a Shrek costume.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did
Well,
you
that's
watch
what I'm saying. No.
But it was really good.
Yeah, apparently.
Wigs. Different
Yeah.
wigs and accents.
Different wigs and guys, sure.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Anyway, I guess we load these trailers back onto the boat.
Oh, we're doing that now.
We have
We're the
to, yeah.
longshoremen
Yeah,
now.
where
are we?
for efficiency's
Okay.
sake, we had to let some people
Wow.
go. And
What people don't know is the trailers on the boat come in those enormous tube TVs. each trailer is loaded into one of those enormous that maybe your dad has in his house or whatever.
and it's got a VHS built into
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's
It's
how
all,
we're
it's all
watching
in
it.
one unit.
Yeah.
And it cost $7,000 in the 90s.
And I just want to be clear, it's not worth it. Why are we doing it this way?
I don't know, man. They're just on our phones, easy to access.
Anyway, bye boat.
Bye.
Not a fan.
Honk.
Mason.
Yes, hello.
Warner Brothers has announced it's closing 3 gaming studios.
Sounds bad.
Nah, it's good. Relax. One is Players' First Games, who did Multiverses, something they were very disappointed in, probably because they fucked it up. Warner Brothers Games San Diego, who were working on an unknown AAA game.
Okay.
And Monolith, who are doing a Wonder Woman game.
Yeah, right. And Monolith famously,
Yep.
Nemesis system, right? Is
That's
that them?
right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as I understand, so that's the famous system though made for one of the Lord of the Rings games.
Yes.
Where you can the certain enemy characters become your nemesis, and they remember you, and they
If they
change-
kill you, they
yeah.
get promoted, and then you come back, and they're like,
That's
oh,
right,
no,
to
you
shift
mate."
manager.
Yeah, it's a shit. Yeah, exactly. Incredible system which we've seen twice. in video games.
it's patented by Warner Brothers, so
Yep.
nobody else can use it. They have it till 2036.
Great.
And it was going to be in the Wonder Woman game.
Yeah,
now
well,
it's not.
So Gal Simone put a thread on Twitter about this because she worked on it as creative and said it was pretty far along and it looked incredible. I wanted this game.
Well, too bad you're not getting it.
No.
You're getting it.
Yeah.
Suffering your jocks, James. You're not getting it, idiot.
Polygon stated that found out that Warner Brothers Discovery CEO and President of Global Streaming and Games, JB Perrette, confirmed the news, citing a disappointing 2024 and a refocus on Warner Brothers' core IPs, Harry Potter, DC, Game of Thrones as main motivators. Okay, so that's where we're at with that, Mason.
That sure is.
So yeah, it's video games are bad as always,
That's true.
and
But soon they'll be back.
yeah, maybe. Well, it's funny you say that because apparently James Gunn has been actively working with numerous studios to get some games out. Focused.
Who are numerous studios? I've never heard of them.
Mason, I was trying to. I don't know how to explain numerous. More than one studio.
Okay, that's a funny name for a studio.
Oh,
also.
no. I can't get out of this, can
No,
I?
you're trapped in Who's on First situation. There's no way to break it down without seeming like the pedantic one.
That's me. These are going to be games set within his DCU and two of the studios he's spoken to.
Go on.
In the very least.
Two of these studios.
Oh,
what
my
a funny
God.
name. What a funny name for a studio.
Who
Two
is
of
on
these
first?
studios.
Who's on first?
Well, that's the name of the first baseman.
Is it?
Yeah. His
Correct.
name is Who. It's
Yeah.
simple when you think about it.
Yeah, it's a really good joke. It's a classic for a reason.
It is a classic
Mason.
for a reason. I think we can get this going. We can get this going
Get
as
this
the new,
going.
the new viral Who's on First joke.
One is NetherRealm, who of course Mortal Kombat and also the Injustice games. Let's get a punch a fighting game out. Let's go. And the other is Rocksteady, who are rumored to be working on another Batman game. But you could do someone else.
You can do Superman game.
I mean, not Suicide Squad.
No, don't do them.
I don't know if they should do a Superman game. They seem like they don't want to. So maybe give it to somebody else.
Yeah, okay.
Apparently, this is very early days. We're a couple of years away from even an announcement of that. Because video games take forever. But speaking of, James Gunn and Peter Saffran, who are the two heads behind the DCU, Peter Saffran does more of the production side of things. James Gunn is the creative. They spoke to Variety about what's coming up.
Oh, yes.
And who's listening.
Heaps of stuff. And everyone is.
All of us are listening. Apparently, the plan is to release 2 live-action films and 1 animated film per year, plus 2 live-action and 2 animated series per year.
Seems like a lot.
Did I say the same thing twice?
You might have.
I did. Sorry, 2 live-action films and 1 animated film per
Okay.
year. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. In addition to 2 animated series and
Okay.
maybe some live-action movies.
Okay. And some
For-
webisodes?
For TV as well.
Any webisodes?
Maybe.
Okay.
This is apparently also, not apparently, they've said this depends on script approval. Because remember,
Okay.
the number one thing is get the script right and then we'll film the movie. And that's why we're getting, for example, that Clayface movie, which is shooting this summer.
Which might be...
Daniel
Clayface might be
Radcliffe.
Daniel
That's the
Radcliffe, yeah.
rumor. It's going to shoot in the northern hemisphere. It's shooting in the northern hemisphere summer, not our
Oh,
summer.
what if this Clayface was a former child actor and he's gone insane?
Oh my God, Emma Watts.
Like Emma Watson. No?
Yeah. So that's the reason why we've talked about this before. Clayface went forward because it
Finished.
was finished and good.
We just did a copy and paste on one of the comic books.
Easy.
Yeah.
Another one, they're saying that the full script for Batman 2, the Robert Pattinson one, it's not done as of yet, but it is
Matt
looking
Reeves
good.
is dragging his feet.
He is, isn't he?
He's dragging his feet over that word processor.
I don't like it, Mason. That's not how you type. They don't know about the Penguin season 2 as of yet. Apparently, it largely depends on Colin Farrell.
Okay.
Because, what a nightmare.
Is he filming another season of Sugar about a man in a car with no elaborate makeup on?
Oh, maybe he is. What's that about?
I don't know.
He's in that car, though, isn't he?
Yep.
That's great.
It's great.
Yeah, I'd say the Penguin season 2, if we get one, is at least 3 years away.
Yeah.
That's if we even see it.
Yeah,
Batman, there's another Batman film, though, in the works. Batman the Brave and the Bold. That one's set in the DCU. It's in active development. The story's coming along nicely, apparently. They were asked about Robert Pattinson playing that version of Batman. And James Gunn said this. Have we ever talked about Grant Gustin from the CW series The Flash, as in coming back? Yeah. Have we talked about Robert Pattinson? Yeah. We've talked about all those things, but serious conversations, no. So they're looking at all possible
They've been
avenues.
spitballing,
Yeah.
but they haven't written anything in stone.
I think that's good.
I also read this week that because for a long time, The Brave and the Bold, they've said it's going to be directed by Andy Muschietti, who of course directed the Flash movie.
But he hasn't heard anything in a while.
No, but somebody said what they said was something along the lines of when the script is finished, they will show it to Andy Muschietti and then they will decide whether he's directing it or not.
Oh.
So they're like, what do you think of this? You like it? Well, you're not directing it.
Can you snatch it out of my hand?
That's right.
Are you quick enough?
Yeah, I'll put it over your head. Put it over here. If you can get it, you can direct
I
it.
hope he's not tall. He's not doing that movie.
You don't think?
I would be shocked and surprised.
Okay.
Because you're doing it.
That's right.
Because you snatched that script.
I snap. I've got a longer vertical leap than you'd think.
That's right. It's like throwing a bouquet.
That's right. I've got drive to succeed.
You do. It's got to
right.
be bad though, isn't it? You got to do a bad job.
Yeah, really awful.
Good.
Yeah. I'm going to run away bride it. I'm going to leave. So on first day of shooting, I'm just going to run. They'll do the little clapper and then I'll just be gone. They'll do the clapper and then people will start acting and they'll be like, what?
Well,
And the stage doors will open. I'm just running.
You said directors don't really do anything and it would just happen regardless, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of animated features, we know we've got that dynamic duo movie, which is going to be Dick Grayson and Jason Todd.
Now, I read something about that this week also.
Puppets?
No, I didn't read
There
it.
are puppets in it, apparently.
Are there? Okay. I read that because prior to this, it was about Dick Grayson and Jason Todd before they became Robins, but I think now it is when they are Robins.
Yeah.
Like it's that period when they're both...
Yeah.
Maybe it's a period where, like, after Dick Grayson stopped being Robin, and Jason Todd is Robin. Like, maybe it's set in that period. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't
think they've ever been Robins at the same time, though, have they?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Gunn said on this movie that there might be a way to fit it into the DCU. I would love to for this animated puppet movie to be part of the DCU. That's really appealing to me, but the story is unique, and so it may not work within our universe.
Because everybody else is a real person.
That's right. That's fine. Some stuff's animated.
Yeah.
There's also going to be a Blue Beetle animated series, which is going to continue on from the 2023 movie, presumably with the same lead. I like that. I think that would be a good, like, again, younger skewing thing. And speaking of, there's 3 younger skewing animated shows in the works. One is My Adventures with Green Lantern.
Which is going to be set in the same universe, I think,
Presumably.
as My Adventures with Superman. And that's
Great
about
show.
the Jessica Cruz version of
Yes.
Green Lantern.
There's also DC Superpowers and Starfire.
And DC Superpowers is going to be like a superhero high kind of vibe, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And Starfire is Starfire from the Teen Titans.
We don't have any. Thus far, we don't have any character designs or anything.
There is title cards.
Yes.
But that's all we get.
Okay, all right.
They also said that they never met with Daniel Craig about the Sergeant Rock movie.
Yeah.
It was just an idea.
Well, he's out. He's out anyway.
Yeah. James Gunn said that was just an idea, and we never really even announced Sergeant Rock. So that says to me that might not even... Who's the director of that again, they think?
Oh, it might be Luca Guadagnino.
Love
Challenges
that.
guy.
Love that, Mason.
Because in a way, tennis is like war, isn't it?
It is. No. He did Queer, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
With also Daniel Craig. So I guess that's why that was considered.
In a way, kissing is like war, isn't it?
No.
Interesting.
Depends.
In a way,
kissing?
In a way, war is like tennis? Did I do that one? I did that one. I did that, yeah.
Podcasting.
Is like war?
Different podcasts.
Different podcasts are like
competing for podcasting chart
Yes,
approval.
absolutely. That's right.
Yeah. Apparently, the Teen Titans screenplay is being written by Anna Noguera, who also wrote Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Okay.
It's out there, but it's definitely not finished, so that one needs work.
Uh-huh.
But they loved her script for Supergirl, so that's good. Matthew Orton, who worked on Moon Knight, is working on a script for DC Studios, which James Gunn said is something kind of like a Deathstroke Bane story.
Oh, that's right, because there's been a long time rumor that there's going to be a Deathstroke Bane movie.
Yeah.
So is that
something like sounds to me like it's not going to
secret, or maybe it's a movie that features both of them.
Yeah.
Might be Secret Six or
Sinister Six.
Famous
Five.
Famous Five. That's right.
The Wishing Chair.
Fantastic Four.
Yep. Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Magic Pudding. The Magic Pudding.
Yep. I Am Number 4.
Blinky Bill. The koala boy. He's a boy who's a koala.
The Beatles' #1 album, where it's just all their number ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Best of Fleetwood Mac. The best Fleetwood Mac album.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of possibilities here.
There's so many possibilities for this thing that I've completely forgotten what we're talking about.
Deathstroke and Bane story.
There it is. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. I'd like some villain-centric stuff that is where they're actually villainous. I mean, the Penguin was that.
Exactly. I think maybe that is that.
They would be looking at that Sony stuff, like Kraven and Morbius, and being like, they
shaking their head.
Yeah.
All the James Gunn and Saffran are in public watching them on their phones and just shaking their head the whole time. So people know they don't approve of it. No. I wouldn't have done it like that. I'm James Gunn. I directed the Suicide Squad.
No,
it didn't do well, but it was good.
But it was good. People did like it.
Pretty good. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I should have led with that one.
Yeah, and the other ones.
The other ones.
Yeah.
I forgot about the other ones.
Slither. You haven't seen it, but it is good.
Yeah. Brightburn wasn't me, but I was involved somehow.
It's not bad either. People seem to like it.
That's right.
Yeah. Apparently, they remain in development on the Wonder Woman.
Don't look up my old tweets.
They got me fired.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing Warner Brothers stuff.
Yeah.
They remain in development on the Wonder Woman prequel series Paradise Lost, and they're moving forward on developing the superhero comedy series Booster Gold after waiting on a particular showrunner creator who had expressed interest in the show but ultimately moved on.
Also, the actor who was pitched for that has lost interest apparently.
Is that Kumail Nanjiani?
Might be. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I just read. And again, that's the rumor mill for you. But I read that today. They're like, oh, we had somebody in mind. They're not interested.
So you're doing it again, Mason.
Yeah.
Another thing that you'll have to do. I don't know how you're going to squeeze all this. Oh, you're running away. So it
yeah,
doesn't matter.
I'm running away from directing the movie directly into
you get all the costume
Star
fitting.
trailer. Yeah,
You'll take 9 months to get super shredded.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So then I can run away.
Yeah, that's right.
And click, and I'm running. And I'm running. Damn, he's fast. He's running faster than when he was a director, probably because he's shredded.
Why do we hire him for this? I don't know.
I don't know.
Apparently, the horror film Swamp Thing has been stuck in limbo while director James Mangold focused on the Oscar-nominated biopic A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan one.
Makes sense.
The Peacemaker spin-off series Waller with Viola Davis has what Gunn has called a bumpy road, struggling to land the right script. So we'll see where that lands. The Authority has also struggled. He said it's a very big movie. So if you're going to do the Authority properly, and there's some story elements perhaps that are in Superman and some in other films that were fast-tracked, step a little bit on the Authority, which makes sense. Gunn added also the script also had a harder time coming along, so the film hasn't been much of a priority because it's been subsumed by everything Brave and the Bold and Paradise Lost. So the Authority is like the Justice League, but radical, and they...
And edgy, yeah. And bigger.
And kill
yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot...
So it's the Avengers, but slightly more.
It's kind of Kingdom Come-ish, I guess, as well. Are they the Authority? No, they're not the Authority.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then the Kingdom Come comic, and there's like...
Oh, there's a bunch of edgy...
Yeah, but they're not the Authority.
Kind of like the
Magog is the guy.
Yeah, I mean...
He's like a Rob Liefeld nightmare
Yeah, the Kingdom
character.
Come characters are sort of a reflection of that sort of character from the 90s and kind of like...
We did a comic book.
About like, is creating those characters in comic book form kind of too far? Do people want kind of more wholesome golden age characters or,
Yes,
etc.?
we want
But
both.
the Authority are from that era of like big splashy widescreen comics.
Absolutely.
Huge epic battles and so forth, yeah.
Oh,
And they're
big,
edgy.
yeah. BigSandwich.co, we did a commentary for the movie Kraven, Over the Top. It's there right now. Check it out. Bad movie, but we did watch it, didn't we?
That's right.
James Gunn, on that picture he took with Zack Snyder, he said, look, we've known each other since he directed Dawn of the Dead, which James Gunn wrote. They sometimes talk about different things, but they took that picture because they knew it would melt the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he said also that...
And we're still talking about it.
We can't stop talking about it.
We will stop talking about it immediately.
Even though he said it's probably nothing, we just took a picture together. He also said they've roughly mapped out a 6-year plan to tell a wider story, which will culminate in a kind of Avengers-style movie or movies, though he insists that each individual project works as its own thing. He said it isn't like they're chapters of an overall story, they're characters that are part of an overall story.
You notice he didn't say, they're really leaning towards, it's like we're culminating in an Avengers Endgame. They're not like, it's going to be like the current phase of Marvel.
Yeah.
When nobody knows what's happening and nobody knows
and
the
there's going to
status
be
of anyone.
characters.
There's going to be
and the movies will be good.
That's exactly
and
right.
TV shows. Oh, speaking of, we saw a first image of Lanterns, the Kyle Chandler.
Did we?
Yeah, it's just them in civilian clothes. You can look it up right now.
I
Go
don't
to
know.
comicbook.com.
I can imagine it.
Yeah.
Is Kyle Chandler wearing like a leather jacket with like a fleecy
More
collar?
of a kind of yeah, sure.
That's great.
It's something like that, but it's not that specifically.
That's wow.
So yeah, that's the state of things. Let's do some MCU stuff. Just quickly, we're going to maybe talk about Daredevil a bit next week, the first couple episodes. We'll probably do a wrap-up thing.
Yeah.
But next week will also be Mickey 17.
Oh, exciting.
Which is slated to bomb, probably.
I think you mean slated to Bong Joon-ho.
Oh, yeah.
Director.
Yeah, okay.
Of this and also Parasite, which won an Academy Award.
Good movies all around. Warner Brothers are a bit worried of David Zaslav because they've been cutting all these costs, but it doesn't seem to be working because they put like $100 million into this. And
so many Robert Pattinsons.
Exactly. Too many. It won't, I don't think it'll have a big opening week, but it might hold for a bit if it's received well.
All right.
Which would be nice if it was. Also, there's an...
What he'll probably do is it'll bomb and then he'll just go back to Korea and make a really, really good movie again.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like,
Actually,
we should get him for an American movie again.
Yeah. Do you want $100 million? Do you want $100 million?
Do you want $100 million? Hey, Bong Joon-ho.
You want $100 million?
$100 million?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah. Is this enough money?
Oh, it's just a brick of money.
There's also going to be an MCU special event. This is by EW, which is a Punisher special directed by Reginald Marcus Green, who worked on King Richard and the Bob Marley biopic.
Oh.
It's also written by him and John Berenthal, who, of course, plays the Punisher.
Huh.
We're going back to this, are we?
What do you mean?
Going back to this?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
There's events.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, me too.
Werewolf by Night, good.
Other ones, maybe.
Maybe there's a couple of other
But
ones.
at least just that one.
Do you think this is a feature-length Punisher Dirty Laundry?
Yeah, maybe.
I think so.
Marvel's Brad Winterbaum, who's head of streaming television and animation at Marvel Studios, says it's like a shotgun blast of a story, but it also has the pathos and emotion that you want out of a Frank Castle story. It's so exciting.
That sounds exciting.
Let's look at the Punisher movie starting this week.
That's right.
Dolph Lundgren,
It's so
straight up.
exciting, I would say.
That's right. Wow. Now, Mason, we've got one last bit of news, but we're hardly equipped to talk about such a thing.
We're not equipped to talk about any news,
No, but
and yet
this
we do it
specifically.
anyway. Okay, all
Because
right.
it's fantasy film related. It's about, it's an update on Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, the
Okay.
movie that they're making. It's another Lord of the Rings franchise spin-off exclusive to whoever makes those movies.
Uh-huh.
But here to talk about that and a couple of other things, we've got two boys from Sans Pants Radio. We've got Jackson
Baly. I don't know, you pointed at me.
I don't know why.
I was like, has he forgotten my name?
I actually did write both of your names down in case I froze up.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, clever.
Because the audience would be like, why has he stopped talking?
What's wrong?
I was worried I was going to say Joel Dusha, who's not
I
here, or
see.
something.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah, thank
Do you want to introduce me again?
Yeah. So we've got Jackson Baly and Joel Zammit. You've probably heard them from Plumbing the Death Star. You might have heard Jackson on this show before. Joel,
Yeah.
this is your first time being on here,
Yeah.
despite us knowing each other for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And we've both, me and Mason, have guested on a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
their
you've been on a
stuff.
bunch of plumbings.
And
yeah.
you, James, you and I, we know each other.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
know each other
Yeah.
also.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
also
yeah.
are friends for most of the time.
Yeah.
So this Gollum movie.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
You remember they made that Gollum game?
Yeah,
recently?
we
played
played
it
it.
recently.
Yeah.
What is there some strange internal push for more Gollum content?
Yeah, we had this exact discussion.
What's going on?
I think they think that that's like the key thing.
That's their baby Grogu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because people remember it, but he's horrible.
He's
And also, like, you know, like Viggo Mortensen and Ian McKellen and so forth,
Yeah.
they age and they retire or whatever. But
Though they
Gollum
are
is-
coming back.
But
Yeah.
Gollum is always just an ageless, rotten little
Gollum
Gollum.
is forever.
Yeah.
Isn't that like Andy Serkis did a funny voice and we loved it? He
Yeah.
popped his name a bit and we're like, let's have more of this.
Absolutely, because he did it. It was
The
a
fish song, the potatoes.
I think
Yeah,
what was
yeah,
good
yeah.
about Gollum is it was a very easy to do impression, and
Oh,
I feel
it's
like
true.
during Lord of the Rings, everyone had a Gollum.
Everyone was doing an Austin Powers. They were doing a Gollum.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
My precious baby. You know, guys?
Yeah.
It works both ways.
It worked both ways.
It's good. It's
Very
good.
good. So, and you guys probably know this, but Andy Serkis is directing this movie. Who plays Gollum? He
Oh, there we go. There's the secret.
Yeah.
he did some second unit directing on the Hobbit
yeah.
movies.
He directed Venom 2.
Two.
Okay, yeah. Classic film.
Yes. I was going to say, what's his directing credit? Is it great? Is it?
He did the
really
Jungle
good?
Book movie, but not the one that you know, the other one, which I think is better.
Which one do you think I know?
Yeah.
The
You're
one
making a
with
lot of
Christopher-
assumptions here.
The one with Christopher Lambert?
No, the John Favreau one,
Okay.
the realistic one. He did another even more realistic one.
Wait, there's some more
Is that the one with, is it Eric from True Blood?
Maybe Christian Bale's in it.
What?
Yeah.
Like recently or when he
Yeah.
was a young boy?
No,
How
like-
is there a more real? So they did the cartoon Jungle Book, a realistic Jungle Book, and then a more realistic.
Yeah, I'll show
Is
you.
it like the Lion King?
They just filmed it at Taronga Zoo.
Yeah.
Did
What
they
is
get-
it?
Instead of a CGI snake,
called-
just a snake?
Yeah.
It's called Mowgli.
What?
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, he made it. Like here it is. Like they used really extra special
That's
facial capture
crazy.
stuff. I think it's better
Whoa.
than the other one, but that's just
Alright.
no one's seen. Also, there's a moment where because it's closer to the book.
Yeah.
There's a moment where there's just like a dead dog's head on a stick.
Whoa. It's already better. You're right.
They should have led with that in the trailer.
Yeah. You're right.
Real child friendly.
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, cool.
That
The trailer is
Cool.
just 30 seconds of a close up of a dead dog's head on a stick, and then it cuts to black, and there's some text that goes, "What do you reckon's happening here? You should see the movie."
Yes. We're not even going to tell you the title.
Just a, oh,
You gotta
no.
seek this out.
Yeah.
One ticket for the dead dog on a stick movie, please.
It's the close with a dead dog. You're probably wondering how I got here.
Wow, that's crazy.
Now, I want to get more into this when we talk about like best and worst fantasy franchises. So this is going to be moved from 2026 to 2027 now.
Okay.
That's a
Do-
fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not getting there.
Yeah, it's not
Do
happening.
you care about this? Is this good?
No.
I'm intrigued. Is the idea that is it like showing when the guys at the Bad Mountain?
Good thing we got got you in. Experts.
Mordor.
Mordor, the orcs
James
and the
Boyd, I'm
Orokai.
taking notes.
Yeah.
Guys in the Bad Mountains.
I don't care for Lord of the Rings, but it's going to come across that I do. This is gonna...
I really like. I mean, I've never read the books, but I really like the movies.
Yeah.
I tried reading the books. I can't
Yeah.
get through
We've
it.
all
Tried.
we're all in the same boat.
We've all
there.
tried reading the book.
I always
Where
remember.
did you get up to?
I finished
First
The
song.
Hobbit.
Yeah, right. I got to the song about the patch of grass, and I'm like, I'm out.
That's
Yeah.
so
Me,
funny. That's
I'm
almost like
gone.
a parody of the book that there would be a song about the patch of grass. I always remember when I still lived with my parents, we had like an internet outage. And my brother, who I swear to God I'd never seen read a book before in his life,
Yeah.
picked up and read every single Lord of the Rings book in like 4 days.
Like the Silmarillion and stuff as well? Or you're talking
No,
the
I don't think
main-
just the main three.
Okay.
But it was crazy
That's
to
wild.
see. It was
That's-
like seeing a dog read.
That's also crazy. Like back in the day, we'd have a 4-day internet outage and we would just live with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was wild. He was, and it probably took him actually more like 3 days because the first day he just sort of went insane because he
Yeah.
didn't have the internet, and then he was like, I guess I'm reading Lord of the Rings.
God damn.
Bananas.
I don't understand that. I was on like a cruise ship once, and they had like no internet. I read so many books.
Yeah. God damn.
That'll get you. That'll do it.
I get it. I'm with you, brother, man.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
Is the hunt for? Is it a live action? Like, is that what we're getting, or are we getting like is it anime? What?
Yeah.
It's,
Is it like the last one that came out?
yeah,
that
the
one saw?
Rohim one.
No, it's live action. It's set between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, so it's closer to Lord of the Rings, and it's
Okay.
Aragorn looking for Gollum. That's the speculation.
I think people will like this movie because people love Gollum.
they do.
I've got sucked into the same thing. Everyone else.
I
has.
love how we went from like Lord of the Rings. There's one book to each movie.
Yeah.
and then The Hobbit. They went. That book is now 3 movies. Now they're like, I don't know. There's like a paragraph on how Aragorn looked for Gollum is now
Yeah, a
full
in
movie.
itself a full movie.
Minimum
Yeah.
a full movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's probably going to end with a cliffhanger where they team up. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
now we got to go into Mount Doom or whatever. or-
Yeah.
I love watching those.
We're going to do a Die Hard in Mount Doom.
like the prequels, and you could just see how tired Peter Jackson
Oh my
got
God.
gotten by the end.
The behind the scenes stuff's
Oh,
incredible.
I know.
Yes.
Like the Battle of the 5 Armies,
Yeah.
where it's just like, and then this guy is a bear, throw him in.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
care.
big worms. Do you remember the big
Yeah,
worms?
there's
Just
June
chuck him
worms.
in.
Yeah, there's some worms.
I don't
whatever.
care.
They've fully replaced Billy Connolly with
Yes,
the
that's
CGI
right.
version.
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
difficult because Billy Connolly's always dashing back.
Yeah, he's always moving.
doing his crazy
It's hard to
arms and
capture.
riffing.
Get
You
the
have to-
big yin
you have to,
and why
you have to
not?
erase all his riffs.
God, impossible.
But I think
so
people will be
tired.
excited to see Andy Serkis's Gollum return.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
he's like, he's one of the guys people remember.
Absolutely
Like,
is.
I'm sure you've seen it, maybe you've even spoken about it, but the Shrek 5 teaser came
Oh,
out
we
recently.
just
I
talked about it,
imagine you did. And people, nobody really cares about Shrek 5.
No.
Nobody's sitting there wondering, what's next for Shrek?
Yeah.
What neck for Shrek?
What
Yeah.
next for
Well,
Shrek,
yeah.
Is
dude?
Shrek dead?
Yeah.
I need to know.
But now that you see, Shrek's one of the guys.
Yeah.
We all remember Shrek.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long has it been since the Lord of the Rings?
Oh, God.
2003 was the last Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
movie. I mean, then
Okay.
there's Rings of Power and whatever.
No,
so like
no,
last
no.
week.
Yeah.
The Rohim movie was December.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess
Yeah.
like with Gollum specifically,
Yeah.
and not just like the guest appearance in one of the
And the
prequels.
Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's this nostalgia brain, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
We're all getting
absolutely.
kicked in the head with that.
Yeah.
That's the scene that people love as well. They're like, "Oh my god!" And the Hobbit. They're like, and then Gollum turned up.
Well,
but
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make
No.
Yeah,
a good trilogy.
No,
of movies.
just because
No.
Gollum's in your movie doesn't make it good.
Yeah, we're revisionists,
Yeah,
right? We're
yeah.
looking back
Yeah.
at this being like, actually, they were good, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
It's
that.
happening so much now. You go, actually, the prequels, they were really good now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
everything is actually really good when I was a small child and I
Yeah.
had no mortgage
Yeah.
or care, and it's all good now.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so true.
They should just take you to the movies and say, hey, you don't have a mortgage for the
Yeah.
period of this movie.
Yeah. Hey,
But-
remember when things were simple and you
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about rent
Yeah.
or food?
Yeah.
You know
So
when your parents would buy you food and make you a sandwich,
Yeah.
and you were like, I don't want peanut butter sandwich, I want jam, and your mum was like, okay, I'll make a jam sandwich. And she brings you out a jam sandwich. Like, I want a Vegemite. And she's like, that's fine, dear. And then like that. And like that, remember that time? You had no care.
You
I don't
do
remember
that
that
You didn't
specific
waste.
scenario.
You didn't have to think about wasting 2 sandwiches.
They should-
You just, who cares?
The Hunt for
Anyway,
Gollum should-
Gollum's
Yeah,
back.
anyway, Gollum is back. Be a child again, I
They
guess.
should open this movie and they should just say, at the end of this movie, someone else will buy you McDonald's.
Yeah.
I think that's what we all miss. Someone else
Yeah.
buying us McDonald's.
And you don't even know you're going to McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. So you find you just think you're watching the Hunt for Gollum.
And not just that, someone else will drive you back to work with like a packed McDonald's.
Yes.
You can show
Oh
off to
my
your
God.
workmates
Oh my God.
that you have McDonald's and they do not.
But if you misbehave in the movie, your dad will go through the drive-through as if you're going to get
Oh,
McDonald's,
no.
and he will order a
No.
coffee, and then he will leave.
I like that it's because it seems like it's set up by the movie. It's like kind of like what was that movie where they had somebody in the cinema to talk to the screen?
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis. It's like Megalopolis, where they got to hire a guy to drive you to McDonald's afterwards. An usher or whatever.
You know, Alexei Toliopoulos
Yeah.
did that.
He was the
Do you reckon
guy.
he'd drive you around?
I think he'd love to.
Yeah, I think he would
I think
love
Alexei,
to.
he would jump at the opportunity to
Yeah.
buy me McDonald's.
Yeah, next time we're in Sydney, Alexi, I know you're listening.
Yeah.
Take us to Macca's.
Take me to McDonald's.
I would
And
love that.
Even if he takes me through the drive-through and he just gets a small black coffee, that's
Yeah.
still good. I'd still
That's
take that.
still a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we get into the rest of the stuff we got to talk about, do you want to talk about your board game?
Oh,
You don't,
yeah, I
you
guess
don't
we
have
should,
to.
eh?
I would, I
I've
think maybe I
dragged you
will.
in here, but it's up to you.
Jackson dramatically opened his shirt as if he had the board game
Wow.
under his shirt.
I wish I did. I don't know why I did that. I'm just showing off my abs.
Now this is a real board game.
This is a real board
We've
game.
seen it. It's not
In a box.
It's not a PDF. It's
Yeah, exactly.
It's, a hard
It's
copy.
physical.
It's in a box.
It's heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to manufacture, we got to print it, there's a prototype. Not cheap.
Yeah.
They're just coming to complain. It's not cheap making a board game.
Yeah, we're gonna try to guilt
Really
people into backing our
On
Kickstarter.
so much debt. Oh god! Remember when you were a child, you didn't make a
my
board
God.
game. Oh my. Anyway, no, we made a board game based on one of our shows, D&D is for Nerds, where we play Dungeons and Dragons like cool kids.
Yeah.
And one of our campaigns called Jarren's Outpost, we turned that into a board game, and it's been 10 odd years,
Yeah.
maybe in the
10,
making, or
like
8, I
8
think.
to 10 years
on
we've
this
been
very
working.
day.
Yeah.
That's true.
Whoa. I think it is. Yeah, and we've been working on it that long, and it's taken us a really long time to get to where we are, where we will be launching the Kickstarter very soon.
Yeah, March 18th.
March
Okay,
18th.
cool.
Put that date in your calendars, people.
right.
But no, we're extremely proud of it. We were like, let's make a board game based on one of our campaigns because it's a campaign everybody loves. Jarren's Outpost is one of our most popular. And then we basically were like, well, we want to, because we like board games. We're board game people. We were like, let's make a board game. But there was somebody else, I think another D&D podcast, like maybe 2 years into development, had made, or somebody
it was Dragon
Friends
Friends.
had reskinned the game Werewolf with their
Okay.
characters, Werewolf being like a party game.
Yeah.
Where we were like, we should have done that because instead of making like merchandise for our people who love D&D for Nerds, we accidentally made like a full on legitimate board game that's very fun to play,
Yeah.
and that we put a lot of like effort and time into.
You should have come with that out with a vodka brand. or
That
something like
that would have
Right?
been smart.
White label it. yeah.
But instead, no, we made this board game that we've been working on for a really long time. We tried to make a game that, so the Jarren's Outpost campaign is this kind of like mad scramble where everybody's betraying everybody else. And we tried to basically replicate that in the board game. So
Okay.
the board is like a city. You're playing as the citizens of the city. You need to complete quests and you need to attack notable citizens. But at the same time, screw over your friends.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a game that rides the line, and I think it does ride the line between being very annoying and very fun.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Because initially we were like, all right, like cool, like we don't want to harm anyone else. We're like, I just want to play this, and we're doing fun, and we're competing.
Yeah.
But then we're like, but what if we could be a dick to each other?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
What if
exactly.
like, okay, I can't win, but I can ensure that you can't win.
Yes.
either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's have this, mutually assured destruction.
You need a game where you play a card and then everybody points at one guy at the table.
Yes.
And goes,
Yeah, it's that game. Oh, it's that game. You need a game where you've worked for like 2 rounds to achieve something, and then in one move, somebody steals it from you, and you have to sit there furious while they get 4 victory points or
You're
something.
like, that's great. I did
You're
all
like,
that work,
okay.
and you just came in and won. Yep, cool.
Time for me to think of something else.
What else can I do now?
So you don't have to have played D&D.
No,
God,
it's like
no,
it's all,
not at
it's
all.
all there, right?
Probably
It's not-
best if you hadn't played D&D.
Yeah.
perfect.
Don't come
well,
into
that
it
rules
having
out
played.
everybody who listens to the show.
No, well, we tried to make it, and this was part of the development process. We tried to make it extremely accessible as well. A big fear, we would always have this thing we say where we're like, every board game is stratagems, which was this in-joke of like the most complicated. You know when somebody explains a board game to you?
Auntie
and
Donna have that
Yeah,
amazing
exactly. It's the Auntie
video.
Donna sketch where it was like this fictional board game called Stratagems where you would just like tell, the most elaborate nonsense rules you could. And we were like, every board game is a bit like that until you play it. And then you're like, oh, okay. So the fear was that we'd made stratagems for a really long period of time. But then, with work and development stuff, it's accessible.
It's accessible, yeah.
People who don't even know us have enjoyed it.
Yeah, they're not just blowing smoke up at us. They have no idea who
They've
we
got
are.
no stake in me being
You've
their
done blind
friend.
tests.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And people like the board game, which feels very desperate to say.
No, I think
as a pitch.
it's okay to be like people like it and we're proud of it. I think that's
know.
good.
And people like you guys.
People
as well.
like me. I'm a likable guy.
I think if you came in and went, I don't know, I don't know.
We're having second thoughts about this.
I'm having cold feet,
But it's also like, I want to say like, yeah, we're doing the Kickstarter, but we have the game. It's there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
we're
physically.
not gonna run away with the money.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
saying that makes it feel like I'm gonna run away with the money. But I
Yes,
swear
it
I'm
does.
not. It's just it's there. It's all done.
Do you want to run us through like the Kickstarter thing, just like to give an idea of what's like how that works?
The Kickstarter, if you
Yeah.
don't know about the Kickstarter, is like it's a wonderful little website where
Yep.
it's about crowdfunding, where then you go and you can pledge either for our one in particular, which I think it's like you could get access to the pledge manager. You get the standard edition or the deluxe edition.
Oh, okay.
Depending what you want to do. So the deluxe edition currently has an extra playable character that is not in the standard edition,
Oh.
and some extra NPCs, items, and some locations that you can swap in to the regular version. And then if the campaign goes well, we have a bunch of different stretch goals. We'll hopefully include more different characters, items, NPCs, those kind of things. And yeah, so that's...
So the idea is you can build it out.
Yeah,
hopefully, yeah.
with the new characters, we tried to make them interesting. The ones that hopefully, if the Kickstarter does well, it'll add to the game. We tried to make them real characters that would. And obviously, this means nothing if you've not played the game, but characters that tried to change the way you play the game. 'Cause I think that's interesting. You know what I mean? And same with the locations and the NPCs and the items and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
So
you'll
I think
ship
it's
this to anywhere in the world.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to say we could.
You'll ship this to America.
Yes.
People will be asking.
Had a discussion.
Even if they're a Democrat.
Whoa!
Even if they're a Redumlican.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
Mason, stop.
That's
No, I won't stop.
in
What are
this
you
house, we
doing?
believe in centrism.
I'm so glad I could be here for one of Mason's famous political reigns.
There it is. That's right.
So we'll link it below.
Or a
We'll call-
libertarian.
Okay.
He's not done. He's not done.
He's not done.
Collings, who edits this, is going to put a link below if you do want to check it out. I would say just go and have a look at the page, have a look at the board. So I know you've also on your YouTube channel, you've also got playthroughs.
Yes.
and where you talk about
so
it.
there's on the Sandspants Radio YouTube where there's some stuff where we just talked about it. We'd had a let's play of a board game.
Yeah.
I don't know
We-
if that's
sort
a
of-
separate thing or if that no one really does that because it can be boring.
Well, we did it.
But we did it anyway.
Nice.
Gotcha.
So there's that. There's also the Jarren's Outpost website, just Jarren's Outpost.
Yep.
You can kind of have a look there. And kind of there's also a tabletop simulator version of the game that you can play on your little machine.
You can find out if you
Oh,
like it in the
really?
digital realm,
Yeah.
so that you
Oh,
want to
that's
back
cool.
it for the physical realm.
Yeah.
For Meat World or whatever they call it.
Yeah, Meat World.
realm.
Yeah.
That's great stuff. All linked below if people want to check it out. We'll remind you at the end of this as well after we stop talking.
Thank you.
Thank
People
you.
will know. I feel like
You're welcome, gentlemen.
we talked enough about Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
I think so.
reckon.
Let's do some best
It
and worst.
sucks.
Yeah. Fantasy
We're sick of
movies.
it. I'm sick of it. I've had a gutful. Lord of the Rings.
Where are you guys at with the Dungeons and Dragons movies? Bearing in mind there's one good one.
I really liked the most recent one.
Yeah.
I thought that was really fun.
That was a
Absolutely.
lot of fun. I
It
had a
was
good
like
time
nice
with
to
it.
watch a movie where I was like, I'm having a fun time. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Like,
After,
this,
like,
I'm
the
enjoying
slop
myself.
of so many things.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so
Lot of
produced.
things.
There's a lot of slop out there.
A
Yeah.
lot of slop. I think coming off the back of like Madam Web was a previous thing. You're like,
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a year since Madam Web came out.
God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Feels like a 2012 movie.
It really
Here we
does.
are.
It really does.
So after, being force-fed a lot of slop that, movies had was making, it was nice being like, "Ah, this is fun.
Yeah.
It's
And
nice."
I think the Dungeons and Dragons movie, the most recent one, and as Dungeons and Dragons players, you might relate to this, is that so much of it feels like a campaign by a bunch of people who don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It feels like the Dungeon Master is helping them out for a lot of it.
Absolutely.
Like they just like Reggie Jean Page's character is just a guy. Clearly the Dungeon Master's like, oh, these guys can't do this. I better bring in a guy to help them with a lot of stuff.
And then they'll just go at the
And there's
end.
a moment where there's clearly a very elaborate trap that they have to go into a dragon's hoard or whatever, and they just trigger it, and the bridge collapses, and then suddenly it's like, oh, that stick you have, it's magic. You've actually got a magic stick, so
Absolutely. And I think that made
feels
it
like that's on the DM.
Yeah.
You did the trap, and now the bridge is down. Well, how do we get across?
yeah,
right. Yeah,
You will
right.
need to
the
do that.
MacGuffin.
Okay. Magic stick, whatever. No, that was heaps of fun. I haven't seen the other D&D movies.
I've only seen the original one. I didn't
one
see
with
the directed DVD
Jimmy
one.
Olsen.
Yeah, the one with Jimmy Olsen. It's not. It's just not.
and Jeremy Irons. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
he's something else.
Yeah.
What was the one actually? Adam Carnivale, who's the dungeon master for D&D for Nerds, he made us watch a couple once.
You made us watch those ones, yes.
Oh.
I believe.
I don't remember them.
Yeah.
All I remember was we watched him in the same house where you were house sitting that had a disgusting
I
dog.
hated that dog. This dog was on the verge of death.
Oh, I hated this
it
dog.
smelled. We all hated this.
It was
dog.
like a walking corpse.
Like,
it was
my God.
Honestly, it smelt like it was rotting from the inside
Yeah, it
because
was
it
really
kind
bad.
of was. And then I find out it died like 5 years later.
It's crazy.
Oh my god! I was going to say 5
shocked.
minutes after.
No,
you
I
left.
was
it
shocked.
clung to life
Ooh.
like a gremlin. I remember my memory now, like flashing back to watching that, is I'm not watching. The TV's on, but I'm looking in the kitchen at that dog.
Yeah,
That's
man.
my memory of the Dungeons
I don't
and
think it was a
Dragons
dog.
movies.
It's probably just a pile of worms inside a dog skin.
Yeah,
It's just
that's what it
writhing
felt
around.
like.
It's what
Oh
it
my
smelled
god, that
Good
dog
lord.
sucked.
But those D&D movies, I think they have the same recurring villain throughout, and it's the same actor.
Oh, that's
Oh, the
fun.
snake ears guy.
Mm.
The guy with the blue lips.
Yeah, Snake Ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snake Ears. Yeah.
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 Oh, God, that's great stuff.
I watched last night because I was like, oh, I imagine you were like, oh, let's talk about fantasy movies, and I was like, I reckon the perfect double feature is Pan's Labyrinth and then Labyrinth.
In that order.
That's the perfect. Yeah. I think either way works.
Yeah.
Won't audiences be like, whose labyrinth is this?
Yeah.
I mean, if this was Pan's.
Yeah, exactly. The other labyrinth we don't know. What's Bowie's Labyrinth? But I only managed to watch the Jim Henson Labyrinth.
Oh,
movie.
okay, yeah. I watched that late, so I didn't watch it as a kid.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it didn't.
same. I watched it in like my 20s. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Same with like Dark Crystal, which apparently that new show's really good.
Yeah,
My
I
brother
heard
liked
that.
it.
I heard that.
But yeah, how had Labyrinth hold up?
It's kind of disgusting, and I kind of love that. It's
Like a dying dog?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
in many ways it is like a dying dog. It's just really gross. Like
Yeah.
we used to make our puppets oily. You
Yeah,
know what I
true.
mean? I don't know what happened.
We used to be a country.
We used to make steel. You know?
Yeah, man.
We used to have the ferals.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, bring back the ferals.
I don't know why we stopped having gross puppets. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
I
We
think
all
it's
went
a
CGI. I guess it was cheaper
Yeah.
to not pay anyone and like.
yeah, man. But you look at Hoggle,
Yeah,
the horrible dwarf. He's so wet.
They are making a new one.
They're making a new
I'm pretty
labyrinth.
sure, yeah.
That's
They'll
very
be
exciting.
smooth and dry, though.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It'll be dry.
You're not gonna get like that hand well. It
Yeah.
was always terrifying. To look
I think
at.
the nastiest part of that for me is when they go to the swamp of stench. And it's just full of farting assholes, like very unsubtle.
Yeah.
It's like a fart bog that they go to. It's
Huh.
so gross,
Just
so
covered in
gross.
sphincters?
Yeah, it's really nasty. But I loved that about
Yeah.
Labyrinth. I thought it was fun how nasty and disgusting
I
it
guess
was.
we've kind of lost that nastiness. in
Yeah.
movies.
I think so,
movies
definitely.
used to be nasty.
I agree. We used to
you
build
know?
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to like
Big
watch a
farting
horse,
swamps.
a horse die in a swamp.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
get that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. God,
Horses
never ending
surviving
think-
left, right, and center.
There's
Yeah,
something
bullshit.
lovely that the ending of the never-ending story is like the climax of that movie is a little boy yelling "Moonchild" out a window. You couldn't do that today. People always talk about stuff you couldn't get away with. You couldn't get away with that. That's not a climax for a movie. Moonchild! And then, I don't know if you remember this, he gets on the luck dragon and just
Like, scares
terrorizes his
bullies.
bullies.
Is
Yeah.
that real?
Yeah. Well, who can say? Is any of it?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it is a movie.
Yeah.
I guess there is that very particular era of like 80s fantasy Like Willow.
Oh yeah.
I watched the Willow TV series. I was the one. It's gone now. You can't get it.
You can't get it back.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
lost
thought
to
it was
time.
great.
Really?
Warwick Davis heading up a Willow series. I rewatched the movie, which I hadn't seen in
Yeah.
God knows how long, and I'm like, whatever. And then I watched the series. I'm like, pretty good.
Is
Actually.
there? Because
Yeah.
I think I saw clips from the Willow TV series. Do they go to like a full city at one point? Like, does
believe
it
so,
get like
yeah.
weirdly modern in places?
Oh, mate. Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
Okay.
It looks expensive.
yeah,
I could see why nobody was happy about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Willow. God damn.
They go to the city from Bright, the,
yeah,
the
nice.
orc cop movie. They do a little crossover in the middle there.
Wow.
God damn. Did anyone see like what are those very particular 80s movies? There's Excalibur from 1981. There's Legend, the Ridley
Legend.
Scott movie.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the Tim Curry demon?
Yeah,
And Tom Cruise in like his first roles.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to watch Excalibur. I hear people say it's like one of the best retellings of like the Arthurian sort of legends or whatever.
Is it Mason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
Hell yeah,
Zack
brother.
Snyder loves it.
Oh,
We know
yeah,
that.
okay. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you've seen it in... If you've seen Batman v Superman,
I've basically seen
you've
Excalibur.
basically seen Excalibur. I think, it's the modern
Modern
Excalibur, so
retelling.
don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm
You know.
satisfied then.
Remember when Batman has
Yeah.
that big kryptonite spear?
Yeah. Excalibur.
Excalibur.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Yeah. Remember when Superman's like, Excalibur.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Batman stabs Superman and then pulls it out of Superman. He's now the
Kinda
true
like Sword
king
in
of
the Stone.
Gotham.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
that's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Okay, and when Flash going back in time, that's kind of like the Lady in the Lake coming out and talking to Merlin.
Yeah. And then she met the Flash.
Yeah.
That's in there. Because he can go through times.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
of course you
yeah.
could go back to the King Arthur
This
times.
is Zack Snyder at the press junket. Yeah, so it's
kind of like
it's kind of the sword's kind of like the guy, and the kryptonite gas is, I don't know.
Okay.
Stop asking me questions. How about okay?
Wonder
And then the
Woman-
fans will fill in the rest, so don't worry about it.
Okay. So when she
That
emails,
the gas is green, so Green Knight. Yep.
all right, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, checks out. That checks out.
Any Conan the Barbarian / Highlander fans?
Love me
Yes.
some Highlander.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I loved every single one. I loved 1. I loved 2 when it went to the future. Where it
That's
was all
crazy.
Go
weird
on,
and
keep going.
And then it was just kind of like what the sky was gone, and then you're like, okay, that's fine. And then like 3 comes in,
The
and we've got,
Quickening?
like,
Is that the
two.
Quickening?
That's
2's the
two.
Quickening.
yeah.
Okay.
That's when it's like set in like the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1's great because you've got is it Sean
Connery?
Yeah.
who is an alien maybe.
Is that in the first one or is
No,
it the
that's-
second
no,
one
that's
where
in
they're
the
like,
second one. We're aliens.
we're
now.
aliens.
This
We've
is
been
Mason-
aliens
this
the
is
whole
Mason's
time.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen
then-
all. There are 5 Highlander movies.
Whoa.
I'm not aware of that, Jackson, but 5th one atrocious.
The third
Filmed
one
in Russia for tax reasons,
Oh, really?
like in Siberia maybe, and it's just
is Christopher Lambert back?
no. He bows out in 4
Yeah.
because that's Highlander Endgame. That's where the guy from the TV series meets the guy from the movies.
Oh,
and then,
damn.
And then they have to. Spoiler alert: Duncan MacLeod has to cut Connor MacLeod's head off to gain all the power he needs
makes sense.
to fight a guy who's invincible. Because if you cut him down the middle, he reforms. But they only did that for the trailer. It's a trailer shot. He never actually does that in the movie.
That's
But then
awesome.
Highlander 5 is just the TV characters going on
Okay.
a little movie adventure.
That's-
a little very low budget movie
That's
adventure.
What if you cut him the other way?
yeah.
I mean, they didn't try that.
We don't know. We don't
They
know.
didn't have a chance. Didn't have a chance to do
Someone
that.
should give it a go.
Yeah, the third one is kind of then goes back, kind of ignores the second one.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like some like ancient, is it Mongolians?
Yeah. The most hardcore Highlander fans maintain that every Highlander movie is set in a different parallel universe because that's the only reason. That's the only reason.
Only
that
way it
makes
can make
sense.
sense. Yeah.
Okay, I think I watched Highlander 3 at like a very like pivotal moment in time of like when I was like
formative for you.
in puberty.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I remember it being a sexy film.
Oh hell yeah!
I remember being like, I'm rewinding a few scenes.
Yeah, that's
I remember
awesome.
that in my brain being like, yeah, this is good for me.
It's so frightening, I think, sometimes that there is a pivotal time where that can happen to you.
And
You
then
know
that's
what
your
I mean?
thing forever.
That's your thing. That locks stuff in. It's dangerous.
It is
And now-
very
Now,
dangerous.
Zammit, you can only get aroused if you like stand in a power station while just lightning.
Yeah, I'm into electric play.
Yeah. And people threatening to cut your head off.
The danger needs to be there.
Yeah.
You can put time travel in there, maybe. Oh,
Please.
Hell yeah.
I like dragon stuff.
Yeah, nice.
Let me name two.
Oh, yeah.
Dragonheart, first movie, good. Probably not
Connery.
good. Sean
Sean
Connery.
Connery, he's
And a
back.
Quaid, maybe?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think there's a
Dennis
Quaid in it. Yeah.
Sequel was bad, direct to DVD, and also Reign of Fire, which I think is an incredible movie.
Reign
which
of Fire
I talk about too
was
much.
It's like
Oh,
so
God, it's so
inspired
good.
as
It's
an
so
idea,
good.
though. You know, dragons in the sort of post-apocalypse.
Yep.
Come on,
Christian Bale's
Christian
there.
Bale's
Matthew
there.
McConaughey.
Yes.
Jerry Butler's in it.
They're all looking so handsome
Oh
and
my
leaping
God.
off things into dragons.
It's just a cool idea that they should never have made.
Yes. Yeah. Like, how did
In
that
that era.
happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's perfect.
The drag Wyvern. The design, I've been told.
Forgive me.
Oh, because they don't have back legs or they don't
Something
have
like
front legs?
it's whatever the Wyvern is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think the designs are really good
Yeah.
and like scary. They're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
rats. They're horrible.
you
Which is
scared, were you?
amazing.
I was
Oh, you
scared.
scared, were you?
I was scared. What if it was
my
real?
God.
I was scared. And that's my thing.
Yeah, what if there's a dragon living under the earth right now that we don't know about? What if it was
What
like a
if?
premonition?
That's a good point.
Yeah, Mason.
Yeah,
I am a
think
little bit
about
scared
that.
now, honestly. I'm not going to show it, but I'm a little scared.
Who does Matthew McConaughey play in that?
He plays a guy. His name's Van Zam. He comes in from America and he's like, I've got a strategy to take down dragons. It's to fly up really high and then drop down with a big net
Oh, that's awesome.
and triangulate their position.
That's right.
And they're like, the rate of survival for this is like 19 seconds if you do this job.
Is his name
If you do it
Van?
right.
Are they like in the future we're gonna have stupider names?
I
No, it's
think-
not that far
it's
enough in
not,
the future, I
But
don't
it
think.
starts
no.
in like 2002, right?
Yeah.
And then the movie itself is set in like 2020.
Damn. Well, I guess
Yeah.
your surname's Zammit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zam is the first part of that.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess they were hoping that, the
That's
movie
how
would
syllables
inspire
work.
people to call their kids Van Zam.
Yeah.
His name is Denton Van Zam.
That's
Oh,
an
it's
Christian
all-time good
Bale's character was Quinn Abercrombie.
Oh my
Unbelievable.
Nerd.
The
Yeah.
fakest names that have ever been.
God. That's amazing.
Jerry Butler's just called Creedy.
Creedy.
So there you go.
Should have just called him Jerry Butler.
I love that. I love that movie. I also I don't. Clash of the Titan, Wrath of the Titans. It was the
Oh, yeah.
80s one.
Yeah.
And then there was the Sam Worthington ones.
80's the one, the stop motion. Or am I thinking of
Yes.
something else?
You are.
Yeah.
But you also might be thinking of Beastmaster.
Am I thinking of Jason and the
You
Argonauts?
might-
Yeah,
also
you
be
think
thinking
of
that.
Jason and the
I think I
Argonauts.
am thinking of Jason and the
Yeah.
But that is stop. Isn't Clash of the Titan in the 80s? That is stop motion.
I think so.
isn't
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Mason.
I don't know, man. I used up all my knowledge in Highlander. I
Oh,
only
yeah.
a number of knowledge points.
I forgot you
Burn
did that.
through
Used
'em.
them.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Siberia.
Yep.
Huh?
Duncan MacLeod.
Getting cut in the middle, but
Yeah.
only
in the
in
middle.
trailer.
Yeah.
Only in the trailer.
There
Yeah.
can be only one.
That's so true, isn't it?
I think Matthew
Clancy
McConaughey.
Brown.
This is where I'm stuck. I'm imagining Matthew McConaughey. What's the name of the guy in Jabba's palace that's leaping around? You know,
The singer?
no.
the
What's his
little
name?
guy.
The little
Oh,
guy.
Crumb or
Salacious
whatever.
Crumb.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that Matthew McConaughey say. I would love to hear him say Salacious Crumb. Salacious Crumb. House down Jabba's palace.
Like he's going to lay down some wisdom too. He's like, what you got to know in this life is salacious crime. And everybody's like, thank you. man."
True.
Thank you, Matt.
It's like, that wasn't a good Matthew McConaughey joke.
Yeah.
But that was a really good Clinton.
Salacious Crumb.
Now we've lost that. We've
Who
gone
am I
somewhere
now?
else.
Where have I
Once
found
again,
myself?
I think you found yourself into a worse Jimmy Stewart impression.
Damn, that is where all accents eventually end up. Salacious Crumb.
Christmas.
A Salacious Crumb Christmas.
They would say at Life Day.
Yeah.
for
Yes,
Star Wars.
that's
It's a
right.
Salacious
Yeah.
Crumb Life Day.
Yeah.
Happy Life Day, Salacious Crumb.
Do you guys would have remembered this year because off the
I did
back
not
of,
have sexual relations with that woman, salacious crumb.
but it would have.
But now who was that?
Yeah.
Was that Clinton?
Who was that
Was
guy?
Matthew
Was
McConaughey?
it Clinton? Was it
We
Matthew
don't- we don't know.
McConaughey being Clinton?
Maybe.
Jimmy Stewart.
It was Jimmy Stewart again. I didn't do it. I didn't have sexual relations with Salacious Crumb.
You guys remember because off the back of Harry Potter, which we're going
Yeah.
to talk about, they did, and Lord of the Rings. There was like Aragon, the Seeker, Bridge to Terabithia. Like Percy Jackson, though, those did pretty well
Yes,
at the
Yeah.
time. There was that era of like, is this some?
Yeah.
Oh, you do
I
like
love
this?
The failed ones.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's Golden Compass.
Oh, there you go.
Never mind. Yeah.
Did they do like the Spiderwick Chronicles?
Yeah.
Here's the first one.
Yeah.
It's fine.
They
We'll
pumped
launch
out
this
a
franchise.
Yeah, they did a few
never mind.
Narnias. They got 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got 3 Narnia, which is impressive because
Yeah.
like the Narnia stories don't have like the cohesion that like
No.
Harry Potter does. You got to sell people on a lot more. You got to be like the what are they called?
What
The
are you talking about? They go into a cupboard.
Yeah.
And there's a talking lion.
But every time
Yeah,
they-
but then all of a sudden they go into a painting and there's a talking
saying rat.
I don't know why that's harder for me to
Okay.
buy.
We've
This
sold
seems like
you.
categories, really.
Yeah.
It's just they pick a noun and a location and a thing to go into. Everybody
Yeah.
falls into a teapot.
Yeah.
Look, that's why you just got to start with the wardrobe and the lion. That's
Yeah,
it. And
that's
a witch, of course.
That's true.
That's it.
Greta
Don't
Gerwig's
worry
doing
about
it.
the other ones.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
that's right. It's coming back, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
It's all a Christian allegory.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
It's all about
C.S. Lewis was a
purgatory.
very-
One of them was just like.
In the last one, they go to
Because you had
hell.
sex,
I mean, no,
you-
they go to heaven. Sorry.
Go to hell.
Isn't one of them
Go to
like
hell.
you had a boyfriend, so you
Yeah,
don't
that's
go to heaven
that's
'cause you had sex? and
what's
you're
her
a
name?
strumpet?
Susan, I think. Where there's a line in one of the Narnias where Susan can no longer go to Narnia because she discovered lipstick and boys. So she's banned
damn.
from Narnia for good. The best Narnia book, in my humble opinion, is The Silver Chair because it's about, their terrible friend Eustace Scrubs. You guys, oh wow, that silence was deafening. the Pensfie children or whatever. They have this rotten friend named Eustace Scrubs who sucks. He's
I
in.
thought you meant the sitcom Scrubs.
He's in the Voyage of the Dawn Treader where they go on the boat. And
Is that
he's-
a good one?
I don't remember, but I just remember loving this kid because he's awful and he's mean to everyone and everyone hates him. And then in The Silver Chair, he's hanging out with this deeply unpopular girl that no one loves. And then they go to Narnia and have an adventure. And it rocks. They're just two scumbags rolling around
that's
Narnia.
great.
And they've got this companion in it called like Puddleglum, who's like a morbidly depressed frog man. Anyway, shout out to The Silver Chair.
You're supposed to
Great
meet someone
book.
good, aren't you? Like a goat that likes you.
Yeah, no, this frog who's like, God damn,
That's
dude, I
great.
hate my life.
Imagine going to a realm of wonder and fantasy, and
Yeah.
you see this little frog being like, if you could have. Do you have anything like sharp?
Yeah, I hate my life. I don't want to live anymore.
Sucks.
That's what he's
I
like.
have no thumbs and cannot cut myself.
Yeah.
This is awful. This is terrible.
Yeah, he rocks.
Step
dude.
on
Puddleglum
me.
is
Step on me.
I had the audiobooks as a kid. Like my parents got
Yeah.
like the set of tapes, and every now and then I'd try one. I'm like, nah, I just can't with this, man. I remember there was a show on like ABC when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I
Like
watched
the
that
big
one.
lion puppet, and I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah.
I just could never. It seemed just like I don't know. Maybe because there were Transformers, but I was
Yeah, I
just
know.
like,
When you
don't
got
like it.
Transformers as the other option,
Yeah.
Or
I
Ninja
get it,
Turtles,
dude.
yeah.
I get
I
it.
think it was like I don't want to like with ABC. It was like either that, and then it was followed by the Animals of Farthing Wood.
Oh yeah.
my
or one of the
God.
others, and I'm like, give me. I don't want this Narnia bullshit.
Yeah.
Give me that hedgehog getting run over.
Yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
the politics of these animals. How's that
Animals
snake
of
gonna
Farthing
just
Wood rocked,
absolutely
dude.
ruin that guy's day?
What a great
Oh, they're
TV show.
trusting the snake. You idiots! And now the snake. What'd you
Yeah.
think? What'd you think?
I like
God,
in
I
the
love
third
this.
season
Yeah.
of The Animals of Farthing Wood where they added these 3 biker toads.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, like it was so like the first one has this like sense of whimsy and realism, and then in the last one there's these toads coming in like, we're here to wreck the forest or whatever.
The fox should eat them.
Yeah.
Was this like Ninja Turtles era? Do you think they were like,
I
we gotta...
wonder if they
wasn't
were.
really
My,
that kind of vibe.
No.
Guys from Mars kind of vibe.
I don't. They were just these 3. Yeah, it was just very funny, very out of place. Yeah.
I remember the intro of that was like because they get moved out of Farthingwood. We should probably wrap it up after this because we get to the next segment. We got some other stuff we can talk. You guys can come back. Where they're pouring just concrete over hills.
Yeah.
But they're just like you don't want to like flatten it out. They're just like just pour the concrete.
Concrete it up. People will figure it out.
Episode 1 opens with them killing a toad.
Yeah.
Like the
Nice.
very first
That
scene.
show's so brutal.
God, it rules.
Yeah, man. Animals
Let's remake
Farthing Wood,
that.
Shout out. Yeah.
God damn. We do have to move it along, but
Fair enough.
just quickly, Jarren's quest linked below.
Outpost.
And would you
Jarren
say
Outpost.
Outpost?
God, I'm sorry.
God damn.
I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about Mythic Quest. That's why.
fair
Would
enough.
you say it includes all the elements of the movie?
I would say absolutely
100%.
it does.
A lot of
Yeah, yeah.
betrayal, a lot of animal death.
Yeah.
Nice.
Christian allegory.
Oh,
hell
heaps
yeah.
of that, heaps of that.
Yeah. I would say, yeah.
Very good.
A negative modifier if you've ever had sex.
Yeah. Oh, big
Nice to all
time.
your roles.
A lot of it's an Arthurian retelling.
Yeah.
Nice.
In a modern fantasy setting.
Setting.
With
Batman and Superman.
Transformers are there.
You got Batman and Superman?
We did. Oh, we did.
Going back to the medieval times.
Yeah.
Wow.
But modern, there's maybe a dragon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. But that's actually Doomsday.
Yeah.
He's the dragon.
That makes sense.
That does actually, yeah.
But no, Jarren's Outpost. It's a board game coming to Kickstarter March 18th.
Fantastic.
Help us out. Buy a board game and get to play it. It's fun.
All right, well, I will.
Even if you're a Democrat.
Even if-
Mason, come on, man.
No, I'll say it. I'll say what I like.
Wow.
All right, do you guys mind sticking around for the next segment?
I'd love to.
It's where we talk about what we're reading, what we're gonna read. Jackson, you did this with me when we were overseas, so you know.
I
Damn
know.
it, you can't talk.
Banned.
I will shut my mouth.
Immediately banned.
All right, let's do the theme song. I'm doing the theme. What are we reading today? So this is the segment of the show where we talk about things we've been watching, reading, or doing.
We have a guy that puts the theme song in.
I was going to say, because I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
You met him, it's Collings.
Oh, that's right. I love Collings. Shout out to Collings.
Who wants to start us off?
I started reading The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn recently.
Whoa!
Okay. For homework, for school.
I was once on Do Go On. No, on Book Cheat, I think. And I talked about what I was reading. And Matt Stewart was like, you're reading stuff like a uni student is assigned. And I was like, that's embarrassing. No, I found a copy of I got given as a gift, amongst other things, from my parents, a copy of Huckleberry Finn. But it was one they'd found at an op shop. And it's got annotations that someone else has done in it, which is very cool. It feels like I'm reading alongside someone. And as I read, I'm
A
like...
dead person.
Yeah, probably.
Getting a picture of what they're like.
Yeah, I'm like, who was this guy who was reading this? Like, I think I looked it up, and it's from the 80s, the edition I have.
Yeah.
Some
It's
guy.
an 80s guy in a hypercolor t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Was he reading it for class? I don't know. He doesn't do
Did
every
he have a
chapter.
podcast?
Maybe he does now. Yeah, if you lost a copy of Huckleberry Finn in the 1980s, maybe I have it.
Are you gonna pass it on? Like,
I
drop it at the
should. I
store?
gotta start. I should annotate it myself.
absolutely should.
Because there's chapters this guy hasn't touched.
Yeah.
So
You could
Wait,
annotate.
he stopped before the end.
no, it's weird. So he did the first chapter, hasn't done the second, third chapter, and then I was like looking through, and he's done like the 8th chapter.
Oh.
He's picking at
You
random.
could
I don't know.
annotate his annotations as
That's
well.
a good idea.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I should do.
No, you're wrong.
This guy's an
Then you
idiot.
find him and then you post it back to his house.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to track him down, but I forget what his name is, but it's very generic, so I couldn't find him.
Boo.
But I would love to be like, I mean, what a worthless conversation to be like, hey man, I have your copy of this book. And he'd be like, okay.
Okay, I'm in finance now. I don't have time for this or you.
How'd you get this number? Yeah.
I got rid of it for a reason.
Yeah, I don't want it anymore.
I need a room for 2 Lamborghinis. Sorry to throw away my stupid book.
just thought you'd want to know.
Is it good?
Yeah, I'm liking it. It's I've never really read anything by Mark Twain before, so
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. And the book I read before this was Beowulf, because I was like, I should probably read Beowulf, and I hated it. We hadn't figured out stories yet. I'll
Yeah,
say it.
gotcha.
I'll say it.
Because the Odyssey is coming up. Do you think you'll read
I might, maybe I
the
will.
Odyssey? Okay.
We learned recently, and this blew my mind, and I still think about it sometimes, that the third co-host of Plumbing the Death Star, Joel Dusha, has read the Odyssey.
What?
I know.
That's not true.
Right? I just can't,
can't
imagine
picture
him.
him.
I can't do it. I can't imagine him reading a book.
No, me neither.
Yeah,
But
again,
he's-
it's like your brother, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, but this is like an ape learning to read. I don't. It just doesn't compute.
I know
really.
he has like 8 editions of Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
can
yeah.
picture
That I get.
Yeah. I can picture him, or it might be
No,
The
it's,
Great
Great
Gatsby.
Gatsby,
I
yeah.
can picture him reading that.
Totally.
Yeah, I
But
can
the
picture. I
Odyssey?
can picture him carrying around like Catcher in the Rye and fantasizing about shooting John Lennon.
Yeah.
Like that's
Oh,
easy.
that's easy to picture.
I close my eyes, all I see.
But him reading the Odyssey, I cannot do it.
Thank you.
But maybe I will read it. Maybe I'll read it and then I'll test him.
Yeah, 'cause maybe he hasn't.
Maybe he's lying.
Or he
Subtly,
didn't get
just
it.
subtly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Just a little question.
Ooh.
Little question.
Fantastic. I don't know who wants to also say a thing.
Yeah.
Who wants to
Let's
talk?
all
I'll
go
say
around
a
the circle,
thing.
guys.
Yeah.
Hold the Monster Energy drink can, and then you're allowed to talk.
Well, you're holding the Monster Energy drink.
I watched a couple of days ago. I watched the first episode of Severance of the first season, and
Nice.
subsequently I've watched every episode of Severance.
Nice.
Good show.
How good is it?
It's so good.
Oh,
I'm the last holdout. I finally
Nice,
got Apple
nice.
TV, and I'm like, oh, I should
Nice.
watch. And people, and I'm glad I am, because it's immediately my Twitter feed just turned into people doing spoilers for Severance.
Yeah.
Like the
I know,
current
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
And it's just all gifs of people being like, my secret's this, and I'm like, all right. I'm glad I got. Yeah, I'm glad I got in. So-
Episode's coming out
so-
tonight. Oh, I'm very
Yeah,
excited.
at time of recording, there's a new episode coming out tonight, so very excited for that. So we should do an episode on,
completely
wacky
agree.
Severance theories.
How many's left? Like 4, 3?
Yeah, there's 10 episodes in this season, so
Sick.
we're at 6 or 7 or something
I
like
love that.
I think because I've watched the whole season, the 2 seasons, and I'm like, I got some theories about this, and I went online. I'm like, I wonder if everybody else has my theories as well, and a lot of them are real out there. I don't know.
Whoa.
I think mine's quite mundane, but like, even if you haven't watched it, this isn't a spoiler. But like a lot of the theories are like, they're putting people's minds in goats. And I'm like, I don't think they are.
I don't think that seems unlikely.
I think they're just
Yeah.
goats. Or somebody
Yeah.
was like, every time they get in the elevator, they go through time.
No.
That explains the old cars. And I'm like,
No.
the old cars is explained by the fact that they live in a town with awful weather.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah.
If you're parking your car in mud and slush for 9 months out of the year, you don't buy a Lexus, you buy a rust bucket.
Do you have an old car? But do you have a theory?
I do have a theory, but I'm not gonna spill it. I'm not gonna
Oh
spill
my
it here.
God.
We'll
Let's
do
have
it. I said we watched this. Also, I'm going to be proven wrong by the end of the
Yeah.
season, probably. So.
And they did say, what are they going to do? 3 or 4, and then they're wrapping it up, so
Okay.
like they have an end.
Oh,
Well,
that's
see, that's
nice.
the thing as well. Like I'm, you get wrapped up in this sort of thing, and then you're like, well, I really hope it's a show where they have thought through what they're doing.
oh,
And they're
yeah.
not. It's not Lost where they're just throwing stuff at the wall, and it's not like a bunch of other shows where clearly they're like, we don't know where this is going, so we're just going to look at
Yeah.
internet theories and
Yeah.
Do
write-
them. Yeah,
do
yeah.
them, yeah.
You don't want a Westworld situation.
Yeah,
Nah.
well, that's what this feels like. It feels like the first season of Westworld where they clearly had spent a lot of time in pre-production
Yes.
writing, and they're like, everybody's got their own agenda and everybody's got their own sub-story, and they're all sort of linked together
That
in a
rocks.
satisfying way, whereas the later seasons just like, what if there was a computer that knew everything?
Did you
remember
watch
that?
Westworld? Did anybody watch?
Yeah, I watched
I
all the
watched
Westworld.
all
Do you
yeah.
ever
the
think
way.
about the end of season 3 where they just do the end of Fight Club?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They just like she even says, "You've met me at an or Aaron Paul says it. You've met me at an interesting time in my
Yeah.
life."
You met me just after I watched Fight Club.
I've come into the real world and somebody recommended Fight Club to me, so I watched it. It was good.
Does the Pixie start playing
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
Oh.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Which
I did
is-
watch it.
I'm
Yeah.
99%
Season
sure.
3 was a
now
real-
I'm scared.
Season
but
3
I'm
was a real filler.
It was
But-
crazy to just be like, and it didn't come from it. It's not like there was a Fight Club like reveal at any point.
And then 4 is post-apocalyptic. Is that right?
I've not seen 4.
I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there is no season 4.
I don't think you can access it anymore.
Can't
No.
watch it now in
Yeah.
legitimate means.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lost, my wife has been having it on in the background while.
Oh, yes.
Because we have a very small child, and so when she's like nap trap, she's been watching it. And I've never seen it, and I occasionally like come in and just get glimpses. And I towards the end when like who's this person? Like that's the smoke monster, the man in black. And I'm like what? And then she starts talking about like that's in like the heart of the island. And I'm like what?
It
And then
sounds
like this guy. That's actually not John. That's actually the man in
Smoke
black.
monster.
And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what? What happened to him? Oh, he's dead in the chest. I'm like, where?
It sounds
It's
dangerous to watch Lost.
Wonderfully
Yeah.
fascinating. I'm so glad I didn't.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah,
I got
no,
real
thank
mad
you.
at that show, and I feel like I feel like it's a vibes thing. We talk about this more than, and I did kind of follow whatever thread at certain points, but I really like what's his name, Damon Lindelof. I like everything he's done.
Yeah.
Everything?
Yeah,
Everything.
Watchmen. What else did he do?
Even
good?
any future crimes he might do
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
revealed.
all this kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And people are going to remember this, and they're going to be like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
yeah.
you said you liked him, even though
Ultimate
he's done
Wolverine versus Hulk?
Very
Yeah,
good. The
great.
Leftovers is incredible.
I do hear good things about the Leftovers.
He might have worked on Tomorrowland. I don't
hear
know
good
about
things
that
about
one
Leftovers.
actually.
Yeah.
Yum, yum,
Oh
yum.
yeah. Let's
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about that,
Yeah,
dude.
hell yeah.
Because sometimes they become more flavorsome
That's
in the
so
fridge.
true, is it? 'Cause they
They get to
marinate.
marinate.
Yeah, although I think recently, Jack, though, you made a risotto.
I did make a risotto and
and the leftovers, though.
it kind of was
Oh,
worse
wow.
because I'd frozen it to have as like a meal prep, and then I microwaved it, and it had lost a lot of flavor, and it really bummed me out.
You could have cut that up and like eat it like an LCM bar.
Yeah. Oh, now that's an awesome idea. Savory LCMs. James, you just changed the game.
Change the game.
I might have. Guilty.
Anybody ever called you an innovator?
I think
Yeah.
it's time to start another Kickstarter, gentlemen.
I think so. Oh, awful idea.
That rocks.
So it didn't get you wanting to see Lost.
No.
And your parents too. You can't watch that. It'll kill you.
Yeah, I don't want to do that at all.
Yeah.
I guess what I have been reading, and I need to maybe preface this with like a page.
Yeah.
Is I think it's David Gimmel's Legend, which is like a fantasy book, and I'm reading it to my son, who is at time of recording not 4 months old.
Yes.
And it starts with someone like beheading someone or like talking about this, and I'm like, I wonder if this is like sinking in at all.
Johnny, baby, he didn't know what
nothing.
it's. He's
Yeah.
got that, and he's hearing Lost all the time.
Exactly, and it's fun to read it because you're trying to make him either like engage or like try to go to sleep. So
Yeah.
like, it's good to look at words and try to like really just mess them up, like how marble. I'm like, it really should be pronounced Marbally.
Yes, yeah, I could not agree more.
Thank you.
We're all on
Do you
board.
think if you continue to read the book, do you think you'll like get a sense of the narrative, or are you just like you're just saying
no.
words?
I think I am currently just saying words at him.
Yeah.
Do you struggle? Because I I read sometimes for my partner, and I can read out loud now, and also comprehend what I'm reading. But I think that's tricky.
It is.
For a long time, you're reading out loud, and you're like, I'm not,
Yeah.
because I'm focusing on reading out loud or
I was
something.
doing that for the picnic,
Roadside picnic.
for a while, and it was great because it gives students during the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I was doing voices for all the different characters. By maybe the second sentence, wife's asleep. It's just for me at this point.
Doing a little play.
Yeah.
just for
Well, I
yourself.
found when I was reading Beowulf, because it's a poem, it's like an old English poem, to actually comprehend, I had to read it out loud, and that was embarrassing.
You have to do it on a cliff edge.
To be sitting on my own couch reading out loud alone.
Because it sounds like you can't read in your head.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it felt like.
Well,
Yeah.
because I read to my kids, so it's all reading out loud. I'm not reading silently next to them.
You get this? You get this?
Yeah. But
You
it's
finished,
all
I'll turn the page.
it's all voices and whatever, and
of
sound
course.
effects and whatever, which is great. We're reading. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I don't know if you guys remember the book from the '80s, Hatchet.
Yeah.
It's about a kid.
I love Hatchet.
Hatchet
Oh,
rocks.
Reading that to
you
my
read Hatchet
son.
Frozen?
No.
Oh no, I've unlocked a memory. Oh, this is your Highlander. Oh, God.
It's bad. It's bad.
Oh no, it's great.
Okay, then I'll.
There's
I'll do
Hatchet
it.
Frozen. There's one if he stayed in there for. Oh, that's so
There's one where he
good.
goes to Brazil,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I knew there
They're
were
all
other ones.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Anyway, it's
This
great.
is
So
a guy called Hatchet.
no, it's a guy who it's a kid who is flying to see his dad, and he's and the pilot has a heart attack, and he crashes in the Canadian wilderness, and he has to survive. As a kid,
so
he's
it's
like
Green
13.
Arrow.
Yeah, it's Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Or Iron Fist.
Yeah.
I get it now. I got a frame of reference.
My son is being like, well, what if Iron Man turned up? I'm like, it's not that kind of book, man. But what if? Yeah, it would be cool.
It would be
Yeah.
awesome, of course. But then there wouldn't be a book. Okay, it'd be about someone else.
You save him. Done.
Yeah.
All right, good. Is this
Oh,
good?
that
Good
rocks.
resolution? No,
I'll-
great book.
Great book.
Also, Iron Man would be busy. Okay, well, Iron Man could send a drone. I guess he could send a drone.
Yeah, sure. It's
Wilderness-
very
Wilderness is
impersonal, but he
big.
could.
The drone might get lost.
Iron Man's got bigger things to deal with,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah, there's a bear. Iron Man could send the Hulkbuster. Yeah, technically that would be true if this was in that universe.
He would make short work of that bear with a Hulkbuster suit.
Seeing Tony Stark getting just mauled by a bear.
Wow, that would be crazy.
Right.
If that's how he went out, I would love that.
Just trying to summon his armor on the bear's
Yeah. Oh my god. That would
Like,
be cool.
He didn't even say a cool thing. He just got
He was
mauled.
just screaming the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, Tony Stark goes out the way Kraven's dad goes out.
Yeah, exactly. Mauled by a bear.
I was going to talk about Mythic Quest, but I might talk about it another time. It's good. Someone mentioned in our Reddit was like, I said, what if they're watching it? I am. I've been. Mythic Quest is great. It's about video game development. It's also, I think, partially funded by Ubisoft, but it takes a lot of shots at the industry, which makes me think they're not
But not
watching it.
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Not specifically, no.
Interesting,
Yeah, I think
okay.
it's Ubisoft. It's something like that.
Yeah.
I think it is Ubisoft. But
I watched the first few episodes and it was a bit didn't
Yeah.
grab me.
I think it's
But
great.
after, does it get better or?
I think it gets better. Yeah, and I don't remember even that first season very well.
Because the first few episodes haven't grabbed me.
Yeah.
If I'd stayed with it, would I have
I think so.
rewarded myself with a good show?
You would definitely report. I mean, Rob. Oh, sorry, go
I
on.
was going to say Rob McElhenney. Does he starts looking healthier?
He does. Yeah.
Oh,
he
that's
does.
good.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
No, yeah.
Yeah, he really does. Yeah, God bless him. All right,
Crazy what
again,
money can do to you.
Yeah.
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 Jarren's Outpost, link below. Plumbing the Death Star, incredible podcast.
Thank you.
You have a video game podcast.
I
which
do.
also
Thumb
enjoy.
Cramps, a
Yeah.
video game podcast. Probably the best video game podcast there is.
It is.
Wow.
The only.
true.
I would say it's the only real one. Yeah.
Yeah, True fans. Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey,
You too,
thanks for
Mason.
having us.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next segment.
Okay.
All right, everyone, shut up. It's time for letters.
Time for letters.
That means you at home too. Show some goddamn respect. Mason comes in every week. He plays this off his phone.
That's exactly
People just
right.
talk over it.
Yeah.
They're at their house talking over this. Unbelievable.
Tell your family to shut up.
Yeah, tell them to shut up.
Shut up.
Have you played it then? Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, some people were talking. It might have been hard to hear, but
If you do want to reach the show, it's simple. Just weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com for a Gmail.
That's right.
Or head into the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group where there's always a thread and you can say a thing
that's right.
every week. This one's from Danny, who says, James Clement, are you going to watch Daredevil Season 3 before Born Again is released? It's by far the best season. You're missing out big time.
You're cutting it fine, James.
I'm not going to do that.
Wow.
No.
What are you busy?
Yeah.
Huh. With life?
No.
Okay.
I'm just busy. What do you care? What do you always want to know what I'm up to? Whereas like, oh, James, we've known each other for 20 plus years. What are you up to? How are you going? You coping all right? Mind your business. How about that?
All right, first of all, that's a very accurate impression of my voice, but I've never said that.
It's true. I just wish you would ask. No, I would like to, but I'm just not going to.
Okay, you'll find. Would you find a recap, a 5-minute recap?
I mean,
on
hopefully they'll do
YouTube?
one at the
Maybe
start,
they
but
will.
just-
Yeah, I don't know if they will. I think they.
They might separate it.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Maybe they'll do a recap of Echo and She-Hulk.
They will do it. Yeah. Previously in the life of Daredevil.
I got a root.
That's right. And then I fought this lady as well.
Went to this barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah. She-Hulk.
Weird Hulk guy.
Yeah,
here.
all these Hulks were there. Got a weird haircut.
Yeah.
I could see. I mean, I'm blind, but I could see it.
I could see
I could
it.
see the wind rushing through
I
his
could
weird
see it.
haircut. He's talking directly to camera. There's no explanation. They're doing it. They're doing it Parks and Rec or off
Yeah.
the Office style.
What do you got?
Here's an email from Barbara
Hi, Barbara.
from Poland.
Wow.
Hey, Moso and James. Seeing the latest image from the upcoming He-Man made me think, have you ever started loving something not because it is good, but because someone you love loves it? My husband is a huge soft spot for He-Man, and I'm surprised how much I care for the new adaptation to be good. In the same way, I used to low-key hate the Minions until one of my sons fell in love with them, which helped us through a hospital stay, and now I really like them.
Oh, that's
My
nice.
husband and kids also made me love Godzilla, Kong, and all the Jurassic stuff.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Definitely like stuff that my family likes. Like my kids, like they'll be like, you know,
Go on.
they'll watch a thing
Bluey?
with them. Bluey? Yeah, I mean, Bluey's great regardless. But there's things that I would never have watched Teen Titans. I just wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah, for sure,
And also,
yeah.
it's great. I did not like it. I just
Uh-huh.
wouldn't have watched it.
Mm.
That's the reason I watched Sex in the City.
Yes, for sure.
You know, I think like Claire, and also I was living with 2 girls at the time who loved it. I'm like, I'll watch this. So I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hated it. No, I didn't. I was very much
And you love the
involved.
movies more than anything, right?
Yeah, they're both really good
The second
movies,
one especially is
as
your
is the
favourite
new
movie.
series.
Yeah, great.
They're both,
All right.
they're
It's
all
true.
dynamite.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks to you, I have a grudging respect for the movie Sunshine.
Yeah.
I've had to.
Oh my God, it's such a good movie though.
It's pretty. It's all right.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I think you would have come to that conclusion by yourself.
No,
'Cause
I
you
never
know
would have
why?
re- I
'Cause
never
you're-
would have
'cause
rewatched
you're
it.
really smart.
I'm not even sure I'd even.
I think you're really smart and capable, and you would have figured it
Are
out.
you only saying this because I say that I like the movie Sunshine?
No, I think you're very capable and
Okay.
smart.
Okay, well, consider this. What if I was lying there? I don't like the movie Sunshine. What do you think of me now?
God, then you're good to trick me. I'll give you that. Nothing gets past me, basically.
That's so true,
It's
isn't
not a
it?
goddamn
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm, yeah.
Got one here from Amanda Foreman who says, what abilities/abilities are you genetically blessed with, and what were you nerfed with? I saw something like this on Reddit. She
Is this a
said,
trend? Is this
yeah,
a
like
viral thing?
good. She gives an example: good problem-solving skills, but nerfed with the ability to procrastinate until an emergency. I think that's not the worst thing either, because
Yeah.
often then you could just get the thing done
Yeah.
really well in the last minute.
I think we are the same in the sense that I would never, in a group project situation, I will step up to do the organizing just because I know no one else will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I don't want to.
Is this a group project? Is that what you're saying?
No.
No, I wouldn't want to, but I would do it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, this weekend, all my friends are going away on a golf trip, and I'm not going. And I'm not always, but sometimes I'll organise something. Not with them because they're lunatics and they'll wreck a house.
Yeah.
And nobody organised an Airbnb. So it just didn't happen. So they're going to play golf on this golf weekend, and then
And
they're
then
going
just
to go
sleep on the
home.
green.
Yeah, so it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Whereas, like, I feel like if I was involved in that, I would at the very least have been like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? This golf weekend? I don't play golf. Fuck golf. Here's something I'm good at. I'm very good at keeping a habit, like any habit. Like the reason
That's
I'm
called
able
an
to-
addiction, James.
It is.
Keeping a habit really well is an
Exactly.
addiction.
So, like, for this, for example, like, I've been able to do this because ever since I started, every week, it's a podcast and a video and whatever. And it's just like, this is it. I can lock into something forever.
Yeah.
It's good for, like, fitness. I'm good at, like, you know, with my kids because
Yeah,
I'm
fitness whole pizza in my mouth.
I wish. Like I can like run a family home really well because like I'll keep the routine and like get the kids to bed. Like my routine's really good, but I find it hard to break a routine, even if it's like bad or there's a better way to do it. I'm like, no, because this is the way I do it. So I would say in one way, like my consistency is like very good, but it can be a detriment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A double-edged sword.
And I
if
work
you
too
will.
hard.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm too empathetic.
And I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes I work too hard. Sometimes I get to work early and I live late because I love to work so much.
What's something you suck at?
I'm not a morning person. It's 2 at 10. Like I reckon
Your sleep schedule's fucked though.
Yeah,
Because of your work.
Well,
That's not
but,
really your fault.
But that's the thing though, because I've never been a morning person. I think my work
Yeah.
works well for me because I can do I can start work at midday or 1 p.m. or 4 p.m. or sometimes 7 p.m. or whatever it is. And it's easy for me to stay up late. It's fine. But like today, 10 a.m., I think if you asked a normal person, hey, do you want to start at 10 a.m. today? They'd be like, oh, yeah, I get to sleep in. And I'm like, oh, God.
What are you talking about?
My bones and organs.
See, I've become a morning person.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not, through force of, because I go to the gym like before 7 every day. So it's just like, well, I'm up at 6:20 or whatever. I hate it, but now that's my routine because I'm a man of habit.
And you work too hard.
And I love smoking cigarettes. I'm smoking 4 cigarettes right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the show?
That is the whole show. Oh, I know. I got another email.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to rush off to work.
I don't have to rush off to work.
Mr. 10 a.m. can barely function.
This is from Jesse from California.
Whoa, hang on.
Hey, Mason and James. I'm the mate who went to see James' London live show last year.
Ah.
I just got out of seeing Daisy Ridley's new movie Cleaner. I really want to see Daisy Ridley have a career outside of Star Wars.
Well, tell that to Mark Hamill / Hayden Christensen.
Yeah. So I will tell that to Harrison Ford, season 2 of Shrinking. So I tend to try to see her movies on theaters as much as I can. Her newest movie, Cleaner, is one of the best Die Hard style movies
I've
out
heard
there.
that, yeah.
She does well in an action role. My question is, how are the careers following Star Wars for all 3 trilogies' lead actors? Thanks again for all the great podcast moments. If I can ask for a great shout out for a great mate of mine, Morgan is the best guy I've met, and he is a fan of you both.
Well, it seems as if you're the Luke Skywalker character, whether it be Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker, at the moment Daisy Ridley, though, like she works.
Yeah.
And they're all good actors.
That's true, yeah.
But if you're a secondary character, Poe Dameron, Harrison Ford, Ewan McGregor, those are the ones that appear to have taken off.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Because it's not, I mean, I would say these days it seems that actors or casting people are better at seeing through the kind of typecasting.
Yeah.
And saying, okay, well, you're not just, people will see you as things other than this main character in Star Wars. They will follow you to other movies if we cast you in something else kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting that it's always the rogue character, the Han Solo character who gets the bigger...
Obi-Wan Kenobi, that rogue.
Yeah, but you know, and Adam Driver, of course, has done very well.
Right.
John Boyega's been in a bunch of stuff that's good. So
I think it's also just it's luck, it's timing, it's what you get picked for, it's what people see.
That's true.
Because I don't think anybody would look at any of those people and go, oh, they're bad actors or they're charisma vacuums. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Also, unless you're an absolute lunatic with money, if you do a couple of Star Wars,
you're going to be all right.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know?
Couple of Star Wars and a Death on the Nile or whatever
That's right.
you do.
Exactly, yeah.
Tom Holland, make a movie about Tom Holland about a mind snake.
Oh, that's right. You're in the Mind Snake movie.
Snakes.
Yeah.
What was that called? Infantry?
No.
How would you even make that into a poster?
Yeah, exactly.
Infantry.
Infantry. What's an infantry? Chaos walking?
Yes.
Why is it called that?
Yeah.
What a stupid name.
It should be called Mind Snake.
You should watch out for the Mind Snake.
Infantry.
Watch
out for the Mind Snake.
Yeah. It should be called Dude Planet, but now there's a girl in there. Because remember, that was the other twist.
It was.
The first twist was that everything you saw in your mind appeared in real life.
Yeah.
But the other twist was that the planet was all men. And then a lady showed up.
Dude Planet.
Dude Planet. And that would get all the dudes in, you know what I mean? Because people will be like, what should I get? What movie should I buy a ticket for? The Dude Planet.
And if you're a chick, you're
10 tickets for Dude Planet,
If you're a chick, you're like, I love dudes.
I love dudes. That's right.
It's Dude Planet. Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, everybody.
Wrap up the show, Mason.
Folks, thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for telling your friends about the podcast because that is how we get new listeners. And thank you for leaving a 5-star review on your podcast app of choice if you believe we are worthy of such a thing.
Which we are.
If you don't, just don't do it. Don't worry about
anything.
it. Yeah. But if you leave a 5-star review, James will find it and he'll read it out on the podcast.
Like this one from Michael Carlson 22. He says, this is a very good show. I'm delighted by the very good episode I listen to every week. I'm absolutely enamored by
Did he add that? Is the apology in there?
No. Oh, I'm sorry. So that was me.
Okay.
I'm absolutely enamored.
This in the
This is
review?
part of it now.
Okay.
And me saying this is part of it.
That's what I thought.
By the very good content mind of bigsandwich.co. Thank you. That was me. I think it's all very good. It's all it's so good that I listen to every piece of very good content
You
multiple
sounded very
times.
earnest there and I liked it. Seems very good.
It's very good. Sometimes I have to big sandwich my very own good content consumption in between my viewings of the very good movie Red Notice. Very good indeed. This one's from Hex182 who says, I'm often wrong, but not about this. The show is funny, dare I say delightful. Be prepared to be stared at in public as you laugh out loud listening to the show. These fellas talk funny with their wild accents, and I'm American. That's saying something. In spite of that, these wacky Aussies know their movies. Nick and Mason, who I thought were brothers, have amazing chemistry. Their feature special guests. We do, like
Sometimes.
today.
Yeah.
Talk comics, do reviews of past franchises, plow through the horrible sequels and the industry spawns, discuss books and all forms of pop culture that they can stomach. That's a good synopsis.
We should cut that out.
We don't have a synopsis.
No.
This is like, oh, it's a podcast.
It's two guys.
Two guys.
Two dudes.
Two dudes.
I mean, that's all we need to do. Podcast.
Bro Planet.
Dude,
we should have called it Bro Planet.
Bro Planet podcasting
Damn it.
broadcast. Bro Planet podcasting broadcasting for dudes.
Yeah.
And ladies and others.
See our thoughts
Yes.
via our
Here they are.
Via our words.
That's right. Folks, if you want to get into contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. You can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group or the Weekly Planet Podcast subreddit and Discord for fun civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. Thank you to Fidel and Maisie and Sarabi for moderating over on those forums. They edit videos for us. They put stuff on TikTok for us. They do all sorts of stuff. They're doing great work.
That's right.
If you want to follow some people on the socials, first follow our friend Rob Collings. He's at Rob Collings on Twitter. He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter. He edits this podcast. He'll keep you up to date on all things The Weekly Planet. If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. Check in a buck or an amount you would not miss.
Easy.
Or go to bigsandwich.co for $9 per month. Bonus
Kraven
podcast,
commentary.
early videos, video game let's plays, all sorts of
Kraven
bonus stuff.
commentary.
You can follow me on Twitter, Wikipedia Brown, on Instagram, Nick Maso James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere.
Everywhere. I'll be Instagramming about my golf weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look out for that.
Oh yeah.
It's real.
Dodo.
What?
That's when you do a really bad.
Oh.
Birdie? Eagle.
Yeah, you do a par for one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Par for one, please.
Par for one, please.
Tell you what, if you want a t-shirt, you go to tpublic.com. Search for The Weekly Planet or Weekly Planet posters. Thank you to The Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes. Next week, Mickey 17 and Daredevil.
Yeah, some
We're
of
gonna
that.
Talk. That's right.
Can't wait for that one. I've been hanging out for Mickey 17 for ages.
That's right. Hope it's good for your sake.
Me too.
You're going to have a bad week.
Yep.
Yeah, you got a golf weekend to go to. You got so many golf weekends to look forward to.
I agree. I'm doing golf weekdays, Mason.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.